What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, here we go again, bro. Here we go again. We got Michelle Obama. And the conversation, because they keep slandering this woman, slandering this woman, calling this woman a man. We see this over and over again. This was an American celebration. Trump had an American celebration, a UFC fight, at the White House, a place that you grow up. It's the White House. I mean, it's a designation, of uniqueness and greatness, and something that you want to visit before you pass away. It's sacred ground. It's Trump's turned it into pretty much a circus. And once again, this is Trump's America. I've been telling you, this is Trump's America. You got Chud the Builder. You got Trump's America. There's another guy out there. Some guy just got arrested for he assaulted a 9-year-old boy, some white guy, basically trying to do Chud the Builder, and he pushed the little boy into the wall. Now this was watched. People saw him do this. And they got it on camera, and he's been arrested and charged with hate crimes. And this is Trump's America. When you take a look at Michelle Obama, First Lady, this is hate crimes. This is what you have right here: slander. Doing this in front of the world like that. Michelle is his wife. What really does she have to do with it? Just like Melania. Conversations about Melania, all of these things about before they were married. And you could say, well, they go at them. They do say some things about Melania. I think Putin posted a lot of naked pictures of her. She came out with a statement about the Epstein files, all of this stuff. But if you say, hey, they criticize her, well, look at Michelle though. What has Michelle done? She's married. She's not the president. You don't care for the way she looks. She's a married woman. You don't care for her. Okay, that's his wife. Why do you care? Why would she even be brought up about anything? Under any circumstance, she's not a politician. Um, the wife of a president. You got, oh look, I just thought about, you got George Bush, he got his wife. I don't even know her name. Nobody brings her up. Nobody should. Why? You got Jill Biden. Why? What's the point? What's the point? Their husbands became president, and this is some viciousness right here. And this is Trump's White House. This is the country. This is the state of the country. This is where we're being led. This is where we're being pushed. We're being pushed in opposite directions. Where you have a first lady, former first lady, who gets slandered on national TV. This wasn't a celebration. This is akin to 4th of July. This is about coming together. This was a celebration of 250 years of a country and developing and getting better. That's what this celebration was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that. And here you have a man, supposed to be a tough guy. He attacks the first lady, and he was told to do it. He was told to do. He's prodded to do it. And once again, we talked about this constant desire to make fun of black people. Like we just got the Carmelo Anthony case where he's gonna do 35 years, and instead of just accepting, hey, the jury has spoke, okay, he can appeal. Jokes about him, constant jokes about him. He must be mocked. He must be made fun of. And it's like blacks must be second class citizens. Blacks must be treated as inferior. Blacks must be harassed. Blacks must be. This is the president. This is a president who surrounds himself with nothing but white people. He doesn't want black people in his cabinet. He makes up this nonsense about DEI that has nothing to do with DEI. He said, we going back to merit based. Where? Look at the people that are in your cabinet. Well, show me where you've went merit based. Show me. And this is an assault on the black community. This is racism. This is what you see, racism. Michelle Obama, that attack was racist. That's racism. Attacking a woman, okay, she looks like she looked. You don't like the way she looks. Why do you care what she looks like? There are other women out there for you. She's off the market and she looks like her husband likes. And her looks doesn't give you a right to attack her and call her names. And that's why she's got to sue, man, to make these dudes stand on it. Make these dudes stand on them. Sue them. Sue them. Sue them. You can make them stand. Make them prove that you're a man. Make them prove it. Make them prove it. Why do you constantly have to be harassed and to the enjoyment of bigots and racists? They enjoy you being harassed. It's scary when you think about it. It's scary. I've never seen Michelle. This is a married woman. They carried themselves. You can disagree with his politics. That's fine. You don't like his politics. Obama's extreme liberal. Obama is an extreme. You can disagree with his politics. Well, what has his wife done to be constantly humiliated and slandered? What has she done? How can you justify? What has she done? What's the point? He don't have an attractive wife. So make fun of him for that. And why does she have to be attractive to you? Why? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. And for 8 years, this woman was slandered. She was attacked. She was humiliated. She had to stand in front of this stuff and accept it and deal with it. And they're out of office, been out of office. And you go to this is an event for America. This was supposed to be a chance for us to come together and to heal. That's what this was supposed to be. I don't know. You got to go talk to Trump. He chose a UFC event and he put it at the White House. It was disrespectful. I saw them coming out of a part of the White House that's really dedicated to fallen soldiers. They come running out. These clowns come running out of there. And this guy, this was, people believe that this was, he was told to say this. People believe this man deliberately, he was told, he was pushed to say this. At a celebration for America, go out and slander a former first lady. For what? What do you possibly gain by doing that? What do you gain by doing that? And people say, yeah, feed the racism, feed the racists, and tear the country further apart. And this is ridiculous, man. And she needs to sue. She just doesn't have a chance. She doesn't have a choice. This is ridiculous. Attacking this woman. That's what it's really attack on the way she looks. Basically saying, I don't think she's pretty. I think she's unattractive. That's basically what they're saying. They're not saying she is a man, saying she looks like a man. But they've taken it to the next level. And they say, I'm gonna attack her and shred her self-esteem, just shred it, rip it to bits. This is a woman who cares about her country. Let me go over here. He said, what does that statement have to do with racism? That's a white racist attacking a black woman based on what he considers are her looks. That is churning up racism, brother. Instigator, yeah, I'm surprised at you too, brother. I don't know why can't you just say what he did was wrong, man? I'm surprised at you, man. You know, that's not inappropriate to make comments about a person's looks. That's just inappropriate. What's the point? And he's saying it's not. That he's making fun. Do you want someone to make fun of your family? Do you want someone to make fun of your family member that may not, may you got eyeball, you got eyes, you see what they look like. Do you think somebody it's okay for them to make fun of them that position? You got a supervisor at work, your family member who's not attractive at all is picking you up. They see him and they decide to go to the in front of everybody, and you're there and you guys are getting ready to do some work, and everybody, we need everybody to come in this room. Everybody's in the room, and this person says something about your family. You know what I mean? Something about their looks. What does it got to do with anything? Thank you. He said, Real Roy says Michelle is a beautiful woman. It's racism, plain and simple. And I thought first ladies and children were off limits. I really do. I remember Barbara Bush. Remember Barbara Bush? Remember Barbara Bush, right? People were told not to say anything. Don't do that to her. That woman wasn't trying to be on the cover of no Cosmopolitan. She wasn't trying to be uh, the apple of America's eye. That was the first lady. That was his wife. That was the woman he chose. And you respected her. And you corrected people, other guys, about being their immaturity. Man, don't say that. What are you talking? Man, don't say nothing about that, man. Don't do that. Don't talk about that man, wife. Don't do that. You better than that. I know you better than that. Let that woman be. Okay, you don't like her. Okay, let her be. And I think America for a moment, it did learn a lesson with Barbara Bush. A lot of the comedians, they had to leave that alone. They had to leave that stuff alone. You had the Nancy Reagan. You had the Nancy Reagan. And I'm going to be for real. A few guys, in my opinion, said things, they went too far, inappropriate things about her. Um, it's sick when you think about it, man. This is an event. People were watching that event because they were proud. They were proud. They let the red American blood flow through their veins. And they were happy and they were proud. Look at our country. And this man says this terrible thing about this woman for no reason. For no reason. And she's got to sue. She's got to sue. And there's damage to her reputation. She's got to sue this guy. And as a country, man, we got to have some respect. You don't have to like the Obamas. You don't have to like Biden. You don't have to like Trump. But we don't have to get into sink down. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised at a lot of the people. I'm surprised that you guys can make statements like that. I am. I am. It makes you wonder, where are we, man? Do we even care about each other? Now, they say the war is over. I hope so. Trump says it's over. And Trump didn't send in those ground troops. So, look, yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to get some stuff. I'm going to do a stream on Trump. But, yeah, he's smart. He's smart. He said he didn't want to send America couldn't deal with the carnage, the casualties. Well, okay, America's a good place because we don't need those people going over there and losing their lives. Good first lady too. She's a good, all of them. I don't have a problem with any of the first ladies. I don't. And when you say appearances, now the age is sort of caught up with Melania this time. But if you go back, 8 years ago? That's Trump's wife. Trump's a billionaire. He went out and he found him a beautiful wife. I didn't have any problem with that. I seen that they did a Christmas event. Melania, I mean, yeah, Melania did a Christmas event, and it was like on it was on C-SPAN, and they had the tree up, and there were presents. And now you got to go talk to. I don't know what it was, the composition, but there were like a classroom of young kids. They couldn't have been more than fourth graders, and they were there. And Melania was she was picking them up, like a mom, and it was just a wonderful moment. And this is what I mean by our country coming together. It was a lot of black kids, and she was, it was like this is the first lady, and she's doing she's showing, she's giving these kids a lifetime memory. And so what is all this insults and anger? And a lot of that comes from just a hatred of black people. What do you guys want? Look, will somebody tell me, what do you want from a black person? What do you want? No, I'm being for real. Let me drop this link. What do you want from a black person? What do you want? No, I'm serious. She never was in office. They're not in office now. She's not on the market. She's certainly not available for dating. She's got 2 kids. She's not bothering you. Why is her appearance so important? What do you want from black people? Let me put this in. There's people in there saying slanderous things about her. And this is the thing, to be a coward and hide in the chat box like that. Just be a coward and hide in a chat box. Let me see. What do you want from Michelle Obama? Let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. What do you want from Michelle Obama? Help me out with it, man. You think this is okay for him to say that about that woman? You think this is okay? You think this is the way we should act? You think this is appropriate? You think she's got a suit? You see what I'm saying? Now, she would win the suit, and she could bankrupt this guy. She could literally bankrupt this guy. This guy don't have that type of money. And then when he apologizes, why should she accept that? Look at what he's done to her. Look at the way she's doing that. What has she done? What has she done? Just be who she is? And I looked it up. She's an attorney. Michelle Obama is a lawyer. She's a professional woman. Former first lady. Professional woman. This woman carries herself with respect. I looked at Instagram, and this is the truth. I haven't done it recently, but it was during the Cardi B. I think when Cardi B was running around, I looked up Cardi B's Insta. Cardi B has like 200 Instagram followers, right? 200 million, right? Looked up Michelle Obama. She has like 15 million Instagram followers. I said 15, and she's the first lady? And you got someone like a Cardi B with all of these followers. It shows you we don't respect certain people, man. And why does she deserve this? That's what I'm saying. What is she doing? It makes no sense. It's immature, and it sets the wrong tone for us as a people. And it's up to Trump to try to change that. Trump has to help set that tone so that we don't do this stuff. Like the string, brother. Here we go. I'm finna take care of it right here. Do 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 do. There we go. Oh, here we go. There you go, instigator. Floor is yours, sir. Let me cut this up.
Hey, Platt. Let me start out by saying I love you and I love your platform. I love how you bring issues out and open.
Okay. I'm listening. I don't hear anything now, brother. I can't hear you. Is your mic messed up?
No, I had to shut off YouTube because I was getting
Okay.
echo.
Okay. Go right ahead. What didn't you say that? Yeah, I think you said in the
Okay.
chat she's
First
a
off, you
man.
guys. Well, first off, I ain't never said she a man. I could care less whether she a man or not. Honestly, I don't care. That's if she is, that's between her and Mr. Obama. That ain't got nothing to do with
Well,
me.
she's not a man. But go ahead.
I okay. Well,
Okay,
you
well let me
obviously
ask
know
you
you've
this.
been
Let
there. I mean,
let me
I
ask
guess
you
you've seen the
this.
box. So I mean,
Instigator, let me ask you this.
what?
You grew up in America. You know what it is to be a young kid. You know what it is to look up at the president and the first lady. Do you really think, at your age, do you think this is appropriate? Did you think what that
No, but you
fight?
also got to look
Okay,
at the context of the person it's coming from. It's coming from some dude who gets his head bashed in for a living. Are you really going to follow that person's politics? it's 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 kind of like okay, it's like when a certain entertainers speak up in their politics. It's like, are you really going to follow that person? No, you're not. You're going to follow what's morally right and what's best for you and your family. So I mean, that's what it really boils down to. It came from a dude who gets his head bashed in for a living. It's
that's
not
and
something we
hold
should
on.
take seriously.
If
And
you were
honestly, I think you should still be on the Anthony case that we were talking about a few days ago. But that I digress.
okay, well, give me some subject matter about the Anthony case. We talked about it. Yes, I think we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, it came out that the parents were grifting. That all
Oh,
they're doing
okay.
is just gathering up money.
I,
They didn't show
it,
up to
I,
his trial. They didn't show up to his sentencing. You know what
well,
I'm saying? And Charleston White outed him, and he was one of their main donors.
so
Outed them on what they doing.
you support Charleston White?
I think some of the things that Charleston White says
Okay.
is actually quite intelligent and very
hmm
beneficial to
Should let me ask you
the
this:
community.
should
But
black
also at
people
the same time, he does say some
wait a
stupid
minute,
shit. So
instigator. You just
what?
said this UFC fighter is an idiot and no one should listen to him, right? But you turn
He
around
gets
and
his
said,
head bashed in for a living.
wait
Why
a
wouldn't
minute,
you?
you just said support Charleston White.
I didn't say that. You put
Let
words in
me
my
see. Hold
mouth,
on. Let's see what
Plat.
this guy's trying. If he wants to have a conversation, go ahead, Tillian.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just throwing in some feedback. I also am a black guy, and one thing I don't like about this is this Carmelo case and the way people are acting about defending a murderer and all that stuff is making the real hate us a lot, and I don't think we notice how much this is getting. Like,
Yeah, well, I got you. We're not really. What do you think about this comment about Michelle Obama?
oh man, I don't think it's nothing serious. Like, I'm a black guy too. Like,
Okay, well,
people say,
okay.
hold on.
So wait a minute, wait. You know, she has to do a lot of public speaking. You know, she has to live her life. You think it's okay to slander her like that?
I mean, I got pretty thick skin, They also had pictures of Donald Trump with his head cut off, all in the media and stuff, and they all let that go off. But
Okay,
I think this is
so that justifies what's going on with her because she's not president.
Well, she also did made a podcast. I don't know if you've seen the podcast that she did with Obama and stuff, talking about how parents aren't enough for their children, and they should all have gay people that
But
will be able to help mentor the kids and all that
that
stuff. So,
wasn't her. That wasn't her. That was Obama.
well, they pretty much preach like the same whole thing.
It came from the same household.
Yeah, it came from the same household. Like, I don't know. They said what they said about her. Like he said, it's an MMA fighter.
Well,
Like, I don't know why people take what he says too serious. Like he makes a dumb speech all day, every day.
Hold up, brother. Hold up. Help me, Insta.
Why don't we go
Help me.
to the
No. Hold up.
You're acting like this fighter's the first person to say it when Joan Rivers was actually the first person to say it.
I'm saying they've been slandering her. Maybe it's time to sue. Instigator.
I'd sue. Shit, get your bag.
There you go. You see that? And
get your bag.
if she does, wait a minute. If she doesn't sue, what can people say? Hey, what do you want us to do? you letting them do it. What you want us to? Doesn't it? At what
I
point does
mean,
it
it's
become her fault?
defamation. As far as racist goes, I don't think it's racist, but I do think it's defamation.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. So she has an obligation, really, though, to sue because of her stature and what she represents, right? We're against bullying and stuff like that, so she got to sue
Yeah,
him.
but it goes on all the time, not just with Michelle Obama. It goes on every day. You
To
can't
everybody.
you can't open up a YouTube channel without somebody slandering somebody else. It
Mhm.
happens every day. It's
It's,
not just Michelle Obama. It's everybody gets slandered in that
Help,
kind of way.
yeah,
help
it's,
me
it's
out.
happening to everybody.
Especially if
It's
you're a
happening to
public
everybody every
figure.
day, but you're just taking
She put
offense to
herself
it
on that
because she
platform.
said something for you. So like it doesn't offend you when it's somebody that you don't care about or you relate to, but if they do it to somebody that you care about and relate to, then that's when you want to like kind of flip out.
Okay,
But it's
well,
happening to everybody.
wait a minute. I was a bit. I have no. I understand this. I'm in America. Why would you think I don't care about the first ladies of the presidents? And no, let's go back. Normally, they're just the wives. They don't, other than holding Christmas events or something like that, they're not really a part of the political side. So, what is this that, I don't like the first lady? Why? The president is a liberal, the president is a Republican. Where's that? Where did that come from?
Well, Michelle Obama is also one of the most verbal and out there first ladies in history. She put herself out there way more than any first lady in history.
You think so?
Yeah,
I agree to that 100%. I think, and
Okay.
she's a great example and a
She is a
great
public speaker. No, you're right about that. No. She spoke, I think, at the DNC, and she's a vocal critic of Trump. So, in a lot of ways, a person can say, well, she needs to stay out of politics because politics is dirty. So
yep, if you're going to put your face out there, and if you put your face out there, you put all this stuff out there in the air, expect people to come back to you and expect people to come at you. If you're going to put yourself out there like that, if she didn't want all
yeah,
this,
you
say it
a
that
public
way.
figure. You put yourself on trial. Every time you put yourself in front of a TV screen or put yourself on YouTube or whatever, you putting yourself on trial.
Yep, just like you put yourself out there on YouTube right now. You're doing this whole thing in the chat. Is going at you. You're putting yourself out there.
Well, they can go at me. I just want them to stay within the rules, the YouTube guidelines.
Yeah. I can respect that. Yeah. And then I had another important part to say too. Dang, I can't think of it right now. But dang it.
Well, anyhow, you'll remember it. You were saying that I was being a victim, and so in other words, if I say I'm tired of this slander about Michelle Obama, I'm a victim. I'm portraying. I'm saying I'm portraying myself as a victim because I know you have you have an opinion where it's no big deal. You said platinum, that's not even a big deal. I was actually talking to the instigator guy, but
what that the Michelle Obama, the fighter talking about Michelle Obama.
Yeah. You
y'all
came
think
up
it's a big
saying
deal?
it's no big.
I don't because you gotta look at the context of the person that said it. He gets his head bashed in for a living. Why the hell are you gonna listen to this dude?
So do you think though?
Yeah, he's cool to watch the fight, but I ain't gonna trust anything that comes out of his mouth. He fights for a living.
Would you say? No, I'm serious. Would you say that me, right? I'm black. Guys like me are making a big deal about nothing, and we need to stop doing that.
Okay, but why you being black has anything to do with the conversation?
No, I think he's going off of what I was saying.
Oh.
No. What do you think? So you don't, maybe you don't agree, but no, I think it's right and wrong, man. I think that it's inappropriate for that fight. And you're right. He was a white guy or whatever. But if it was a black guy, it's inappropriate to talk about another man's wife. And it may get to the point where, because that can get very,
you get slapped for that, from my understanding.
Yes. I heard that's the problem with that.
Chris Rock will tell you get slapped for that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I forgot about that. You're right. He got smacked for it. but he didn't sue. He took that. I don't know what they did. I mean, I have no idea what
Oh,
they've
Will
done.
Smith paid for that in his career.
Mm.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna probably be out, but I think this is pretty important to say. I didn't mean to cut anybody off or anything like that. But this thing that happened with Carmelo Anthony, for all these people protesting and stuff that, protesting and protecting the killer and everything like that. One of my biggest things about that same community who's protesting for Carmelo Anthony, when there's Chicago and Philly and all this stuff for all these young black men raised without fathers and all this stuff, they're killing each other back to back.
Yeah, we
They're
got to watch.
making music about it.
Hold up. You can't say the K word up there.
Hey,
Oh,
can
okay.
I
Basically,
elaborate on your
no,
what
hold
you're
up.
saying there, brother?
Wait a minute.
I don't
Trillion.
think I use that word.
Okay, Trillion.
Okay,
we
yes.
we can cut to the. You're saying what about black on black crime? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, why don't we protest to the same rate? Because it seems like to me, there's this rapper called King Von. He is glorified, and they look up to him so much, and all he did was go out there and end other black lives. Like the same.
Now hold up.
He's a legend.
See, Trillion, you guys asked this stuff. I can answer it real quick.
All right.
King Von's fan base is mostly white.
Incorrect. No, that's not. That's not true.
Correct. That's who buys this rap. Who you think buys all this rap stuff?
I don't even know. I don't even fuck with him.
A lot of white kids do, but the most people who buy these concert tickets are white people.
Oh,
who go to the concert and pay for all the merchandise and stuff is white people. But the number one listener to it is us.
No, you are saying black people look up to these rappers. I'm telling you that it's more white. They have more. They all have. If now you start talking about these guys who don't really sell or they're washed up, I'm telling you today, their fan base is whites. It's not. No. That's significant amount of black.
It's because we love you, Platt.
No. I'm just trying to get him to understand. He's saying, I'm saying the people who are giving them money are white people. You're saying, okay, why do they like these people? I don't know. But they don't care about what they're saying.
Okay, let me. Okay, so some people live their lives without a lot of degeneracy. So let's say a lot of these white kids live their lives. They got mother and father. They go to strict school. They go through all this strict stuff. They're not allowed to get off the track too much. And then once they see this rap music that's all about gang banging, drugs, women selling their bodies, all that type of stuff, they're like, this degenerate type of stuff is allowed? Wow, this is so cool. I never thought I'll ever see anything like this. So it like ropes them in because it's not a part of what they do. But for our people, we actually live and stay in that degeneracy. And we listen to it all day. Like when you see us driving around in cars and stuff, we're blaring this music and all of it is just straight poison. What I'm saying is, how can we keep protesting for protecting a unaliver, Carmelo, but the same time we're poisoning ourselves, and then we got this.
Well, wait a minute, brother. Hold on, because we went over this. Elon Musk supports Derek Chauvin.
Got paid off of black pain and grief. That's just all it is to it. They got paid. Black pain and grief.
Hold up, man. Elon Musk supports Derek Chauvin. Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's African American too. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, he is, but he's not black.
How you know? Have you went through his history? How you know? Have you went through his history? He could be albino. You don't know.
Elon Musk is a white man, and he's doing the same thing. No.
You went through his lineage.
He's doing the same thing.
That
all of the people who are saying, Carmelo Anthony, we still stand by your side. We don't accept the verdict, so we continue to support. He's doing the same thing they're doing, and I'm saying there's no criticism of what he's doing. Ben Shapiro did a 45-minute podcast saying they need to free Derek Chauvin. Charlie Kirk was just as involved as Candace Owens with that greatest lie ever told, George Floyd, free Derek Chauvin. So for many people, they said, well, didn't he go through the process? Wasn't he found guilty? You want to free a guy like that? But when this Carmelo Anthony things happen, I see that all of the attacks on the black, I don't get it, man. I do not. I'm completely confused about it. It's like black people don't have the right to do the same thing that white people do.
Well, that's nothing you can ever. Okay, you can't look at life like, okay, these people over here are doing really bad, so I can do it too, and it's justified. And the whole thing with Derek Chauvin, honestly, in my opinion, I am a black guy. Like I said, I actually watched that full body cam and seen that full whole entire thing. I looked into it, medical records and all that stuff. George Floyd, if he wasn't on them drugs and all that stuff, that would have went
Mhm.
different. Even his friends were trying to force him, like, dude, just go into the cop car. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
George Floyd was high out of his mind. He made a lot of mistakes. The cops, they could have did a better job too, or whatever. But at the end of the day, George Floyd is not our hero. The dude did like he got super duper criminal record.
He held a
He,
he held a
he
knife
ran
to a
some
pregnant
girl.
woman's stomach.
Oh, so wait a minute, wait
Yeah,
a minute. So,
he was not a good dude, and he was a drug addict, and he was
okay,
tripping at that
but
place, and all his friends were telling him, "Hey, man, just get in the car." But he
okay,
didn't want to do that.
but trillion,
Held a knife
trillion,
to a pregnant woman's stomach.
trillion, trillion. He
Yeah,
still was a American citizen, and he did not sign up. We none of us do to be executed. Now, take him to jail, charge him, all of that. But no, don't become the judge and the jury right there in the street and take his life.
I
Now,
feel you.
now
It's
maybe
the those
you could
cops
say,
didn't know that he was
wait a
gonna die
minute,
either.
you could say Derek Chauvin, he didn't have the intentions of doing that. But they gave him his trial and this thing happened. But
Nah,
yeah,
the
they
one
did
good
they
thing that
deal
came from
they
all that was
hold up,
police body cams.
they deal with a lot of
So
criminals.
now all police are on check with the body cams.
No, okay, but I'm saying the police officers, their job is very hard. And unfortunately, you know, they have to deal with people who might be hopped up on drugs. They have to deal with people who are sometimes people don't want to be with us. They want to get deleted. So when the police show up, they rush the police with a weapon because they don't want to take their own life. They want somebody else to do it. So, and that is a actual classification, suicide by cop. So, and they have to, then they got to go. Guess what? Your shift ain't over. You got to still put in them 8 hours. So it's a very, very hard job. Very hard.
Exactly. And like I said, I don't think that they actually meant to actually unalive him or anything like that. I just think that they made him. I think it was just a super unfortunate situation. And the media likes to spin all this stuff. That's why they let out the body cams and all this stuff. The media spent this way. The media used to have me all liberalized and thinking that I'm a victim and police are after me and all this stuff. But the media, I learned what the media does. So now that stuff don't trick me anymore. And I thought about it myself too. I'm 34 years old. I'm a black man. I've never been to jail, never had no police interaction, but I also don't follow a culture of crime and doing drugs and having a criminal record means that you're what do they say, a real N-word.
Mhm.
I don't follow
No,
none of that. So I don't
you're
have
right.
none of the problems that
I
I
agree
don't
with
follow
you.
that culture. So I don't have any of the problems that the people of that actual culture
Mhm.
have. And
Okay.
like I said, I used to have the victim mindset. I don't have it anymore. I actually grew
Mhm.
out of that. So now I see things differently. Like I put my emotions aside a lot. Now I'm looking at police body cams. I'm seeing the whole thing. I'm putting my bias to the side and all that. And I
Researching.
just see everything out of
Researching.
researching.
Yep.
And after I did that, I see everything in a whole different light. And
Okay.
I see that the media had my head
We
so
are,
jacked up with this stuff.
Trillion, we are talking about Michelle Obama, but anybody
Uh,
can go and look at the police cams. Anybody can go and look at those, and they can make a determination on what they thought. It's not good though. A lot of that stuff you do wonder, like, how can you be a police officer? Look at these. What's going on, right? So, but
mhm.
you're talking about. Well, I'm talking about equality and treating people decently. That's what I'm saying. I would have the same problem with Melania. I don't agree with Putin bringing up
It's
her nudes
Melania.
and dumping her nudes out there. I don't agree with that.
I think that's funny.
Hey, Trillion, where you from?
I'm from Denver, bro. Colorado.
That where your people from?
Is that where my people from? What you mean, like my family?
Yeah. Like your people from
Yeah,
here, America?
yeah, bro. I'm from Denver, Colorado, America.
Okay.
You sound kind of Japanese to me, dude.
Yo hablo un poquito de español, señor. Todavía estoy aprendiendo español. I also speak Spanish as well, and I'm a black guy from Colorado.
That's cool, man. You
Yeah.
fluent? You're fluent in Spanish?
He sound educated. He well spoken. He's well spoken. I am. Shit.
Yeah, but see, the
Yeah, bro,
problem
yeah.
is this.
I'm
No.
also
The
a
problem
public.
is this. This problem with Trillion is, and this is what many people agree, is he's still black. So therefore, he's going to suffer the way blacks suffer in America. I know he's not a victim. He's I don't know, maybe I don't know what his politics are, but that's the problem. He's bilingual, very lucid man, making good points up here. Yet he gets mistreated because of his skin color.
And yes, I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that. I do get sometimes mistreated by my skin color. But hold on, listen to the whole thing though. Yeah. And the reason why that is because a lot of people who share the same skin, there's some black people who share the same skin that are just very degenerate, and they make us look bad to the whole world. And sometimes the media amplifies that. Mm-hmm. So it's not that
like
it's
that
not
fighter,
the, like that fighter did.
Like that UFC fighter did at that event.
No, like you're doing to the UFC fighter, you're blowing it up, and it ain't nothing to be really.
No. He said other black people make black people look bad in front of the world, and I said like that UFC fighter made white people look bad in front of the world.
I agree to that. I agree to that. There's bad actors on both sides. Bad actors on both sides, like Charleston White, for instance.
Yeah, come on, bro. I can't. I don't even see how you can sit up there and say.
I have liked some of the things he said, but there's a lot of shit that comes out of his mouth is dumb shit. It's like politics, man. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect up there in line with your what you believe in, but you gotta go with who's got the most aligned with what you believe in. That's how you vote. You know, it's basically lesser of the evils.
Oh yeah, we believe it or not, we got a super chat open. We missed it. Well, let me read this super chat right here. Chris Reed says the reason why they say Michelle is a man because she don't have any pregnant pictures when she was pregnant. Then her daughter came out and see. God, that's ridiculous. We're gonna stop right there. Come on. Her daughter came out and said, "Come on, that's nonsense."
Damn, I didn't even know you had super chat. Shit, I'd have donated a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Says
the trolls be real.
Yeah. Chris Reed, right here. Is he back? He's back. And we'll entertain it to a point. He said, he didn't mean to do George Floyd like that. What stopped him from not getting off his back and getting him to see medical attention? Explain that, sir. Well, I don't know what you mean.
I think I understand.
Explain it. That's why we got body cams now. Body cams
don't matter, bro.
I mean, I agree with you. They can turn them things off, but at least we got that.
I mean, they put out real footage and it still got off. It has happened plenty of times. They don't matter, bro.
Well, we're making improvements, man. And Michelle Obama, I don't even know what to say, man. If from a standpoint of a man's type of situation where a guy says she's not an attractive woman, you do have to understand that she's a married woman. So it becomes irrelevant what she looks like.
You realize it was a joke, right? He was laughing afterwards after he said it. It was a joke. But, just like how you made the joke the other day about dude got clan money to buy his house.
I got you.
And you made that joke. It was funny. I thought it was funny.
Some people believe that he was prodded or even paid to say that. And remember, this was a celebration of America. That's what it was.
I would have said if I got paid, shit.
Hey, hold on, guys. Can I say something real quick? For the host, do you know who that guy is? The guy who made the Michelle joke?
Never heard of him.
So his name is Josh Hokett. So I'm a huge UFC fan. I've seen all the press conferences and everything. This dude just got famous because his shtick is after fights and before fights, like post press conferences and stuff like that, all he does is say off the wall stuff. He impersonates different characters. He has a Cholo character where he makes fun of people. He makes fun of Cholos. He has the Hulk character where he says the most worst and jacked up things to the other fighters. And he has a shy personality like, oh, I said all the jacked up stuff out here. I'm going to act shy during this. He has a whole entire shtick. And if you look that thing up, you'll see that this guy is just out here just saying dumb shit just to get attention. So it's not that he's out there on some malice stuff. He just does dumb shit and it's been getting him famous. So he's like, hey, I'm going to keep amping it up. So he's just throwing shit out there to the world. And apparently it's working because he's got you, who's not even a UFC fan, talking about him.
That's the internet.
You got another super chat.
Well,
Joski.
oh, that's right. He said, so your theory, is that a super chat? That ain't no super chat. He said, so your theory was that someone paid the Mexican guy to say Michelle Obama is a man. So this guy's a Latino?
My bad. It lit up.
And he's from America. And he used to be a football player. And he used to be a practice player for the NFL.
Okay, look, it's inappropriate, man. And a guy like him, a fighter, a tough guy, you should pick on someone your own size. He should. I mean, come on, man. Anybody can get up there and slander.
Somebody in the chat said something about Chud the Builder, and my opinion on that dude is he should get everything that's coming to him.
Yeah, honestly,
he's
doing all
catching hell in
that
that jailhouse. He's catching hell in that jail. You know, they got phones.
Yeah, I hope he is. I hope he is.
Guys got to realize they got contraband. They got phones in there.
I don't want him to die. I want him to live through every bit of pain he's about to experience.
Some of the guys, you can pay the
just
COs.
like the two white boys that killed Jordan's father. I hope they got them get everything coming to them. I hope they get everything coming to them. I hope they go through the worst.
I got you. Hold on.
Life can give.
Yeah, justice is being served. But what I'm saying is, for everybody, you got to realize prison. I know they say you can't have this, you can't have that, and once you get in there, it's its own.
But certain people don't deserve prison. Some people just deserve straight up torture for what they done.
Well, you know, we're not a country who would do something like that. Look, what I'm saying is, once you get inside, you realize that some people, like you're saying, this chud or any of this stuff, they can just take their phone and catch up, you know, everything that what you're right down there. They can read all of that. So all of the stuff that's going on, they're aware of that. So this chud guy I've been seeing, I haven't seen the actual podcast, but it turns out that things have been happening to him since he's been in there. I think he's been harassed or assaulted in there.
I heard he was in solitary confinement too.
That's probably for protection.
Yeah, PC. Yeah, protective custody.
You can't do time in PC. You'll lose your mind.
Hey, well, he's probably losing some of his mind. And when he goes out, he's probably getting tortured and all kinds of things going on with him.
Do you know that the guy, you know, the people who check, they're not allowed to talk. If you in PC, they can't talk. Now, do they? I'm sure they do, some of the prisoners, right? But they're not supposed to talk to you at all because you're in PC. So that's why a lot of people don't want to go there, because them little hour or whatever, that time that you get to mingle, you're still a human being. You're a social animal. You need that little taste of socialization. If you say no socialization, that's what, you know, the hole and all, that's the punishment. And then after about a week of that, you said, damn, I can't take just being up in here like that. I got to get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just like Derek Chauvin. He didn't want to do the CP no more. And then when he actually got out, they actually pulled the daggers out.
Yeah, money. Probably money. Who knows,
man? Platt. I'm sorry, I have to cut my time short tonight because I have work.
Yes, sir.
I want to end this with, this is my third time on the show. Where my ticket to the barbecue, bro? Where my ticket to the barbecue?
You're already here.
Nah, man, where my ticket to the barbecue? Let me get. I want to go to the fish fry, then the barbecue. Let me get the fish fry. What's up?
Yeah, give me put some cat on there. Some catfish.
I'm just playing with you, brother. thank you again for
All right,
having
well,
me.
we welcome your. If we disagree, we welcome it. Long as this, we can. It's still a YouTube channel, so it
I'll
can't be
always show
profane.
love.
No,
I
no,
may jokes,
but
I
no,
always show love.
actually, you're necessary because tonight we don't really have some of the guys up, but if
Yeah,
they were
I'm the
up, we'd
JV
love to hear
squad. I
your
got
point
you.
of view. We'd love to hear your point of view.
I'm the JV squad.
Okay.
All right, Platt. I
All
see
right.
you, brother.
All right. Yeah, Trillion. I don't know. I don't know, Trillion. I don't know. You keep we don't say that the CMA, the Country Music Awards, should be a platform to teach the white community, and you could list whatever problem they're having, just list it. But because we know it's just a Country Music Awards. I see this BET Awards. Now that's up to them. It'd be a bad idea to do it in front of Trump. But they're about to have this BET Awards thing. Are they going to turn that into a political performance, as opposed to it's just a celebration of Black excellence and entertainment?
Oh, I guess it all depends on how they do it.
They'll pay somebody to say something.
But I feel like I don't really like this because I feel like it's division. Like we don't need to be dividing. Like the guys up there, the rich 1%ers, they don't want us to look at rich versus poor. They want us to look at right versus left, right versus left, black versus white, Hispanic versus this. They all want to separate and fight against each other, so we don't look at the real human target. So all this going back and forth with black and white. Yeah, we all got to come together, and I just don't like this whole separatism, and it's just jacked up.
I got you. So you never liked BET?
Honestly, I liked BET when it first started, but as soon as black people didn't own it no more, that's when I didn't like it.
So around what, the Will Smith, by the time Fresh Prince?
I think like in the 90s.
You know what? No. When you think about it, BET was very necessary. You saw what Michael Jackson, as big as he was, he had trouble. And then MTV started playing his stuff, and then Prince, and they started playing black artists. But for a while, they would not play black artists. Now, shout out to David Bowie. David Bowie, he won. Now that's not my thing. Not my thing, bro. David Bowie, I got no problem with David Bowie. I appreciate David Bowie. He certainly, as far as black entertainment, he certainly stood up for black entertainment. We know he's married to what I think a mod or whatever, the black model. But he was dressing in drag and doing, maybe he's just doing to sell records. So on that part, I really didn't mess with him on David Bowie. But David Bowie went on MTV. He called their ass out. David Bowie went on there. They did an interview. He did all like what he's touring at, what he's doing. And then he said, okay, well, I have a question. He got that British accent, well, proper. I don't know where he's from. He said, I have a question. He said, why aren't we having, he said, why are not these artists who are brilliant, why aren't they being played over here? And after that, it's like a week later, you started seeing black artists in their playlist. And I credit David Bowie for that, because see, the black guys couldn't go on there. And even if they did, they wouldn't have been saying no shit like that. So, and then we our country, the MTV and the diversity and BET, and I'm with you, Trillion. I'm with you. BET served a purpose, but right around the Fresh Prince, when Will Smith and the Fresh Prince started, America had changed to where you really didn't need a BET, because Will Smith show was embraced. It was, it had a very interracial, or it had a very American diversified audience. They did it, and they didn't have to really. It was a great show. The way it was written, anybody could like it. It wasn't too ghetto. It was rich people, and it was accepted. It didn't, they didn't portray blacks in a very negative way. They portrayed blacks in that upper class community, and they had a nice audience. But and so on what you're saying with that, I agree. Because like you say, black people stopped watching BET.
Yeah, I don't ever watch it no more. And this might throw you for a loop too. I don't think there should be a Black History Month. And you know why? Because we're all American. It should be less about skin. It should be less about skin and more about culture. We're all American. We all stand in line as Americans. It's just too much division, and like you keep bringing up Black History Month, and it's like,
why does that cause division?
This is the black stuff that we did in America. It should just be this is what Americans did. Like I just think it's dividing.
Why does that cause division when you say Black History Month? And you know why it exists, right? It exists because
the stuff that we went back through in the past with the Jim Crow and slavery and all that stuff.
Well,
but we're so much past that.
Black history, Black history was being ignored, and it wasn't being taught. It was, you wouldn't know what the contributions of blacks were. So
no, if you look up stuff, it tells
Black History Month was a celebration of Black American participation and Black American pride. That's what it was supposed to be.
Well, we can let all that stuff shine we can let all that stuff shine in the books, the records, and all that stuff. People look stuff up. Oh, who made this? Who did that? Who did this historical thing? You can just look it up. But how I see it, it's just it's like throwing it in white people's face. Like it's like it's just yeah. I'm from Colorado. I speak multiple languages. I actually travel. I travel the world too. I've seen a lot of things that goes on in the world.
Why are you so Trillion? I'm being very serious. Yeah. Why are you so protective of white people?
You ain't from here.
Well, look what they built. They built America. They built the greatest civilization, the most peaceful civilization.
They did, bro.
Yeah, let them finish.
Military, and honestly, they created all that stuff. And honestly,
you don't think black people had anything to do with that?
Yeah, we had our parts. Yeah, we did. But I'm saying that we can all stand together. There's no more division like this. I don't think it should be no more black, white. This
so you can acknowledge, say, the founding fathers, right? But you can't acknowledge black pioneers. You can't talk about what George Washington Carver. You can't do that because that's racial. But you can you can sit. You can. I'm a kid. You can force Ben Franklin in my face, right? But you can't put a black person in my face.
No, you can't. If you put George Washington in somebody's face, you put George Washington Carver in somebody's face. I'm totally fine with that. I'm just saying it's just creating a lot of division. Like, you guys understand where I'm coming from when it's just creating division.
I don't believe that that's creating division. I think people want to be divided.
Well, yeah, some people do want to be divided. I guess I'm looking at the way I'm looking at it is that we're all a whole. We're all the one. We're all American.
You're a black man from Colorado, right? You're from Colorado, right?
Yeah, I'm from Colorado. And one thing about me too,
there are people in Colorado who don't want you around. Period. You could be like you say, very lucid, accomplished individual. You still black. So period. They don't want you around.
Honestly.
And then you would say, well, that's going too far. Well, who gets to make that decision? What's too far?
Honestly, with me, that's different. When it's the first introduction to stuff and they see a black guy, they might have these opinions, but the more you meet me and the more you talk to me and see what type of person I am, that always falls. I've lived with white people. Most of the women that I've dated have been white. Freaking I'm a black guy from Colorado. So like, and it's also been black too. Black, Mexican. I also speak Spanish. I got a lot of Mexican friends. Me, I have friends in all categories, and I went through hell in heaven with all of them. So I really just dropped the whole seeing a race thing. Like, instead of this and that color, I look at you from the person if you were a man. Like, I guess you could say I don't get along with the streets because, I don't commit, like street codes and stuff. Like,
Mm.
oh man, like I'm gonna get me no matter what, even if everything else gotta fail. Like I don't represent with the street culture whatsoever, but all I'm saying is from my experiences in life is that I see that everybody is judged by the content of them person. And I have broken them walls down so many times. And yes, there has been times where there, no matter how good of a person I am or how big I raise myself up, some white people won't like me. And that's just simple
Okay.
because they got like a lot of bias and stuff. But
Okay.
from overall, there's a lot of them who do love me and they did more for me than my own people actually did. So I don't just see it as colors. Me, I'm more about culture and who you are. And yeah, if
Okay.
you black, white,
You
I
said
love you all.
your own people. You grew up in Colorado, surrounded by white people. Who are
No,
your
everybody.
people? No, you said
American.
you said
Americans.
your own. You said your own people don't. Who does not hold you up?
No, the street culture. The street culture. So there's difference between blacks
What
and
percentage
niggas.
what percentage of a black community would you say is street culture?
Oh man, it's a lot. Like just to throw something out there, I'd say 60% and above.
Wow.
Nah, bro. Ain't no way.
And when I say street culture, I mean like not speaking proper English, at the best to our abilities.
Most of America don't speak proper English, bro. Just to let you know.
Well, I'm saying like a culture. So like you got like what do they call it? Hillbillies. They got like their own culture. It's not the best and upstanding as say what is the culture of whites who are big into like study culture and doing really good in life. They don't speak like the hillbillies, and it's very hard for the hillbillies to get up there.
I don't know because I'm not that familiar, but don't let's not use that term.
Oh yeah, okay.
That could be considered
southern whites. They're not as affluent as the.
How many would well that I'm gonna do that. Go ahead.
Oh, for those ones, I see in the white culture community, I say they're degeneracy or street code or whatever. Like we were talking about the HB word. I say they probably got like a 25% degeneracy versus in our culture, the blacks, which is like a 60%.
Hold up. Would you say now? I'm saying you saying 2026?
Yeah, right now.
No, it's bad. It's bad now. A lot of not the same. It's not the same, but there's a lot of jobs done dried up. A lot of them places. A lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
Oh
drugs, eating them up there, bro. In them
especially
hills. Yeah. You got to go up there, and America doesn't show that side, but America's got a lot of problems, man. We had the UFC fight and all of that, but believe me, America has a lot of problems and drugs and jobs. Let's go back to the Unabomber. Let's go back to what's the name, Tabor? The Unabomber. I forget.
Tim start with
Ted Kaczynski. Go back to Ted Kaczynski. He was a mathematician. This is what he was talking about. He was saying, and we see this now. We saw some people walk out at a college because Google AI got up to speak to the group, and they left. They said, this is going to destroy our future. Ted Kaczynski said that you got to have a society. You can't let this technology take people's jobs, take people's purpose. He's saying, okay, if you're a short order cook, right, and you got a family of two, no, you're not rich. But you get up and you go and you wait for orders and you get what you make and you raise a family. And you're still a part of this society. He said, when you take stuff like that from people, this is what happens. They lose faith in the system. They get into the wrong thing, drugs. And you can make money with drugs. So so it becomes its own thing. And then as it goes throughout the community, it destroys the community. And then one guy or something will get money from until he gets busted. And Ted Kaczynski was trying his best to stop that.
Yeah, but if you, as a mathematician, at the same time, the numbers gonna add up, and eventually, based on computers, it was inevitable, bro. Like
hey, honestly, honestly, you said a key word. You said family. All this stuff is happening because we let a small percentage of the world do whatever they want. And you know how we keep giving them power and more power every day, just keep stepping over in us and doing what they're doing. We allowed them to take God out of the system, family, and community.
You
If
can't
you want to
stop it.
destroy America, if you want to destroy America, you can't destroy it through military means. You have to destroy it from the inside out. Take away our God, our morals, our standings. Take
Yep.
away our family structure and take away a strong community. Because strong communities is like a union. When the government wants to come over and try to overpower us, put up all these mega
That
centers
is
and close
no,
all the
no,
mom
no.
and
That
shop
is,
shops, you have
and,
no strong community stuff. You can't fight. You can't fight back. And all these new generation kids out here right now, their family system is screwed. They don't even have a belief system of God.
yep,
America used to be a belief system about God and honor. All that stuff is eroding. So now America is
yep,
eroding.
yep. Different
And that's
country,
good.
man.
I'm all about sticking together. And that's why we should all be Americans.
Wait a
Because those
minute, brother.
people
We are all
yeah,
Hold up. We are all Americans. But you
yeah,
said God, and that would be the liberals. That would be the Democrats. I agree with you on that. I agree. When you would go to school, you said the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you would
yeah.
say a prayer. And
Yes,
you
sir.
was familiar, even as a little kid, you came into a school, a classroom of all these people all over, and they would get together and they would say Pledge of Allegiance, and then there would be a scripture, and you was familiar with scripture. You were a Christian. Many cases you didn't even know other faiths existed, but everybody was a Christian, everybody was an American, and you learned like that. But now, because of legislation and all of this stuff, and okay, the Constitution, how they wanted to interpret the Constitution, we got to take things out of school. Let's take this Christianity out of school. Let's take this corporal
And have
punishment
drag
out of
and have
school.
drag queens teach our kids about sex books.
Well, now we're at that point now where they've done it. So yeah, you don't have the same society when you do that. And they ban, see, the stuff about black history, I'm against that. But the stuff that they say, these books that they have for these kids, and it's Joe got two moms, Joe got two dads, and they banning that. I'm a different type of dude. I don't agree with that.
Me either.
At all. I don't think that kids should be. I think that if a kid is like that, he's going to be like that in his adulthood. I don't think you need to teach that as a child, and we see this. It's been a disaster too in these movies. What this some other movie just flopped. They changed the characters or whatever. So it's
yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Disney movie.
Yeah, see, I'd like to say the Minions, right? Look at something like the Minions, right? That's for kids, right? If you got kids, you watch it with them, right? The Minions.
Yeah.
We don't need the Minions to be, one of them needs to be gay. Why would we need that?
Well, what does that mean?
It's a kid's cartoon.
I feel you. What does that mean?
No. When they do that, that causes parents to have a fit. And it's like, what's the point? That's what I'm saying. That's just ridiculous, man. And I would hold up, and I'm on the side. They don't have to have any preference. Like, let them just be little minions. Period. They don't have to have girlfriends. Let's let them be minions.
Yeah, and you gotta look at the whole picture. Why would somebody want to push all this stuff out here? If there's people out here who got plans of destroying America, and like I said, you can't destroy us through war. You can destroy us through our politics and things like that. So if there's some guys in America, it's very easy to be bought out through its politicians and stuff like that. If you want to destroy America, all you got to be some foreign power, put all this money in to push all this ideology, all this stuff that's going to erode the family system, community, and God. You're going to push all that stuff that goes directly against that to destroy us. There are some higher people up there getting together, doing all this stuff, and all they're doing is dividing us. And they're trying to break down the family system. That's why they're pushing this stuff, teaching kids books, a mom and a dad. They can't have kids together. So then you're already plummeting.
Well, you got to understand where it originated from, but that's a whole different That's a part. Well, we'll never do that over here, but there's a reason why they do that. So, um, but yeah, well, actually, that's pretty much the Democratic Party. They can pretty much hang it up, so because people just don't, they rebel against that. And there was a time people remember a certain type of America, and they long for that. But believe me, out in the hills, out in the mountains, the drugs are eating them up, man, and they don't have jobs. They just don't have jobs. So how you going to make it? How you going to West Virginia, you got go look at the library. West Virginia, man, it's not even open 5 days a week. It's less. Anybody, if you remember the bookmobile, right? Used to be a bookmobile. Used to come to all the cities, and you could go on the bookmobile and get you a book. You know, and them libraries I saw in West Virginia, they have less books than a bookmobile. You know, you got to cut the cost.
Yeah, they also have the highest utility bills in the nation as well. Also being one of the poorest states in the nation, West Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. This is my first time up here. How's it going? It's an interesting
How you doing?
conversation.
How you doing?
I'm actually happy you guys are having it.
Is it time to sue?
What's up?
Is it time to sue Ben?
If you Michelle Obama, I mean the Obamas. I mean, I personally wouldn't sue. You kind of know what to expect with this climate of America. You know what I mean? I think it kind of goes along with what you guys were just talking about with the LGBTQ movement. I think what happens is when the civilization gets to certain points where they start trying to include more people, become more progressive. You got waves like this. You had this wave here where people were for it and people were next generation a couple years against it, and it's kind of like an ebb and flow back and forth. It feels to me like the center of America is easily influenced. I remember growing up, people were against gay people. I grew up in Chicago, from Chicago, 34 years old. So I remember a time when you talked about gay, straight, gay, or any of that, people were kind of, against. And then when Obama got in office,
Yep.
Dave Chappelle had an interesting joke about it. Like, yeah, it was harder for Cassius Clay to change his name than the gender to change his sex. When that movement happened, nobody really cared. Nobody really cared. And that's the thing. People really don't care about things that don't affect them. People pretend like they really care.
Well. It was the thing about that in Fox News. They changed it up. They turned it up a lot in the community. In my community, I'm trying to see. Growing up as a kid, well, first of all, I didn't know. So you don't know who was a gay person. So if you're delivering papers and your route takes you to certain streets that you don't ever walk down, you don't know anybody, but this person has a subscription. There was times when I would knock on the door and it would be two men, like it would always be two guys. I don't know. And I'm talking about I was a kid. They just paid. They paid for the subscription, but you would get a certain amount of familiarity with the people. So you'd be like, yo, every time I knock, are they brothers? Like, what's going on? But
I mean, I'm not sure how your family is. I got gay people in my family. It was never strange to see gay people. I knew they existed.
There's nothing. Look, first of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with those people living their life, and they have a right to the American dream. When you start saying you're going to force people to like learn stuff, that's an infringement on people's rights. Some people just have no interest in like religion. If you're a Muslim, you may not have any interest in what Hindus do. But if somebody said, well, you need to learn about Hindus too, you said, for what? Well, you need to just have an understanding of it. He said, well, I don't want to have an understanding. I'm a Muslim. Well, no, you're going to do it because we say do it. And that's what the Democrats really made a problem, because people still have a problem. Even with Trump running around, they still have a problem voting for a Democrat because of that. Because they won't be forced to learn stuff like that.
To me, as an American, it feels like this country is under a lot of propaganda from the news media, right? I kind of felt like the same way with the Black Lives Matter thing, like
which was a scam.
potentially being manipulated and weaponized to egg on people, make people emotional. Like, did cops stop killing, or excuse me, did cops stop shooting individuals, or is it just not put on the news every 5 seconds in front of your face? You know what I mean? I feel like they kind of blew the LGBTQ Democratic Party. People kind of blew that up. The trans population is like, if you actually do the numbers on it, it's 0.1% of the world is trans. We're talking about, in every discussion is about bathrooms for 0.1000% of people. Like, this really doesn't affect anybody, really, but they're making it this radioactive an issue so they can manipulate people to put a guy in office who covers for the people he covers for.
Hey, do you know what autophilia is? Autophilia is.
Autophilia.
I'll tell you what autophilia is. Autophilia is where men dress up as women and get sexual thrills out of it, and they get real sexual thrills out of it when they're in the place of a woman and they're dressed like a woman, doing those type of things like peeking and stuff. You can look that up, Google it right now, autophilia.
Yeah, we
That's-
don't really, and that stuff you said, that we don't really go down that rabbit hole, brother. I'm just saying, what you have to understand, this is a YouTube channel. You can't go down rabbit holes, stuff like that. Because even though this would never go to kids, grown people have kids, and their kids can hear it. That's what I mean. That's why you could be looking at a podcast, you still have to be careful of the language, because they're taking their kids to school. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't even know why you would bring that up, but no, we don't get in those fetishes. No type of fetish. And I don't know why you bring it up. Who cares?
No, because we were talking about. If
you're an American citizen, what you and another grown adult American do, that's y'all business. That's y'all business. It ain't no different than you and your wife dragging your bed into the movie theater and you and your wife going at it. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Okay, that's you and your wife going at it. Hey, I came to watch the movie. So that other stuff, nobody wants to see all of that. I mean, nobody want to care about nobody's fetish. That's y'all business.
Yeah, I feel that. I also wish that they used to be in the closet. Honestly, you can do whatever you do, but just don't have it all out in the open. Pretty much just like what you just said. But if you're grown and you're do whatever you want.
In the service, right, there was a group of dudes, and when you would check in, you would go, they would find you a sponsor, and then you would go and you would check in all the places you need to check in. And then, you would get your where you're going to live, and then you would meet your roommate. And if you were of a certain persuasion, right, they would contact that person. And that person would start hanging out with the people who are like them. And did you know? Well, after being there, you knew certain groups of people hung out together. And so from that standpoint, you figured it out. But I mean, all of this stuff, where you got to put it on your chest and all of that stuff. I mean, I think that pretty much ruined the Democratic Party. That's pretty obvious what that did. But it's a different world now, man. It's a different world. And Michelle Obama is a man, that's offensive. It's just an offensive.
They've been saying that for years. They've been coming at the Obamas for years.
Okay, is it time to sue?
I mean, you can if you want. Like, what is the guy? UFC fighter? Like
I mean, it's freedom of speech.
He's not even a UFC fighter. So what are they even going to come after?
He's at Trump. We got at Trump's White House. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, there's still freedom of speech, and he was coming off a joke. Like I said, if they play this in a court of law, they're going to bring up Josh Hokich background. And once they bring that background up and see he's getting famous for saying outrageous things, they're like, oh, this is just like in rap music where they keep rapping about offing people and all this stuff. That's his shtick. It's a show. He says outrageous things, and like I said, him saying something outrageous like that got you talking about him. It's been making him into a famous person. So if you try to sue him, I don't know what you're really gonna come at. Like, oh, he did a shtick. It's not like he came up there with AI generated photos of Michelle as this and that and telling the world like, no, this is really it. Like, come together and let's band together and throw all this stuff out. He just made a simple little joke. So I don't even know what you're even gonna have to sue. I don't think it's gonna even get anywhere. Was he out of line? Yes, maybe. Yes. But like I said, it's making him famous. That's his shtick. That's what he does to get famous, and it's working. So I don't even know what the case will even be.
I got you. You don't.
I mean, you could sue, try to make an example out the guy. The thing is, for me, is like with this current administration, you had a 50-50 chance if they would even, like, I mean, these guys are trying to get insurrectionists paid and stuff like that. You could, and then he's putting monkey faces on the Obamas. You know what I mean? Like,
he didn't make the video, bro. That video was old, bro. It came out years
but
ago.
I mean, was it on his social media? Did he put that out there?
He posted it. I mean, it's America.
Okay.
It's America, bro. Freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech, bro.
You could say freedom of speech all day. That ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change the fact of what's gonna happen to you.
He's still the president, and it was
what are we talking about?
For him to post a video like that.
Well, like I said, back then the Democrats and the liberals were actually posting pictures with a decapitated Trump's head and posting up everywhere in magazines and everything.
And
so who was doing that? Who was doing that? Who was doing that? I don't remember that at all.
No.
Obama couldn't even wear a tan suit. When was he posting pictures of Trump head getting decapitated?
Yeah, hold on. And that was wrong, brother. Who said that was okay?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's
Democrat or Republican, bad is wrong. Now that's up to Trump. That's up to Trump. Do you want to pursue that as far as a suit? I'm saying this still is a married woman, and she still is a public figure in a sense. She deserves some amount of respect to just sit around and say stuff like this. And this was an American celebration. This wasn't at a UFC match. This was in front of the White House. And he said something as despicable as that. That's inappropriate. That's unforgivable. And she got the power. She could bankrupt this guy.
I don't think it's
honestly,
that big.
Do you expect more of like these type of people?
Honestly, it's a messed up place in this world right now. It's really messed up. And you can just pair it side to side. Kathy Griffin with Donald Trump's head holding it up in magazines, and Donald Trump making that post with the Obamas as monkeys.
Kathy Griffin is an actual comedian, isn't she?
Yeah, you can look it up on Google right now.
She got hella backlash for that.
Yeah, she
got canceled for that.
Yeah,
and Donald Trump got backlash for the monkey posting. But I'm just saying, it's just brutal out here, and that's just how it is.
So one's president and one's a comedian,
right?
And remember, Michelle is not.
Michelle, but we hold Trump. This is the thing. We hold Trump to different standards than we hold everybody else to. Obama couldn't wear a tan suit, but Trump can say he assaults women. You know what I mean?
Assaults women. I think that whole thing was caught out of context with the whole.
No, he was arrested. He was arrested for rape.
Yeah. Look.
Wasn't he acquitted of that?
He should. No. He found guilty. Oh, and then also, if you go look at you should, if you got time, go read the trial where he got sued for that lady and found guilty.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Hold up, brother. Hold up, something that she got.
Yeah, it's Jean E. Carroll, right?
Yeah. Go look it up. No, yeah, go look it up.
80 million yourself. Or something like that.
Go
she
look
got
it
80
up
million
yourself.
off that dude.
Go look it up yourself. But,
I will.
Michelle Obama's not an elected official, so once again, you can't make these comparisons. That's the wife. If he said that about Obama, okay, Obama is a former president. A comedian gets up, does a line about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Okay, he's a president. Hillary was a senator, but Michelle Obama is just a wife. Why even bring her up at all?
And like we said before, she put herself out there. You put yourself out there, you're gonna get stuff. The more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. if you want to be a public figure, if you ain't got no thick skin, I don't know what you're a public figure for, because they coming at you after you. In the day and age that we live in, they ain't gonna be nice. If you
They'll
put
come for
yourself
your
out there, it's
kids.
gonna happen.
Go ahead, Tabor.
They'll come for your kids too. Nobody
I ain't gonna
safe
put my
out here.
kids out there.
It don't matter if you don't put your kids out there. I'm just saying, whatever you got going on, it don't matter what you do.
They don't
If
really do
somebody
that. But
wants
no,
your
no.
property,
I would say I don't really see them doing that.
what
They didn't
part?
really go after Obama's kids.
Man, they drug his kids, bro.
Who did?
Years. The
Who?
internet. Man, they had
They
his
do that
kids
to
all over the
kids too.
internet.
I'm talking about
Anytime they listen to music,
people
saying they ratchet, all types of little dog whistles.
well, I didn't see anybody go out there. I didn't see it. You talking about like on a Fox News or something like that?
Oh, no, not no main, nah.
Oh
mean,
yeah,
ain't nobody
anything
mad.
yeah. We got, the internet
about
is irrelevant. That's the internet. They don't matter. I'm talking about and when you got the limelight. I didn't see that. And actually, kids off limits. In politics, your kids off limits.
Mm.
Until they get a certain age. I think
My
she was
wife
smoking
told
weed
me-
one time. They had that on the news. She smoked a joint.
Who did? Melania?
Yeah, I think she was going to college. The oldest dog.
Sasha, yeah, it was
okay.
stuff like that. Yeah, they was dragging them kids, bro. I'm telling you, they dragged them kids for years, bro, and they were underage.
I ain't never seen that.
Not
Hey,
if she was in
this is a
college.
nice conversation, but my girlfriend is calling me. I gotta go in.
Okay,
I'm
bro.
gonna have to flip out. But hey,
All
this is really good, Platinum.
right.
You guys keep up with the good conversations, and I'll catch y'all next time.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Later.
Not if she was in college. And I mean, but no, kids are off limits, just like Brandon or Barron. Barron, I don't know how old he is, but they really stay away from him. The media stays away. Now, some random website, they're gonna do that, to do that. But no, he's not headline news. And it used to be a time when the wives weren't headline news. But this guy, he decided to do it, and he went too far.
Yeah, man. I just even though you say it's just like I get what you're saying as far as like the mainstream, but for the most part, man, if it got enough traction on the internet, they putting it on the main I guess terrestrial TV.
Like New York Post or something like that.
Yeah, they putting it out. They putting it out.
Well, if they are adults and they get caught with a sack or something like that, yeah. But nah, just to go after them, nah. What's Hillary Clinton? Chelsea, right? Chelsea. They don't talk about her.
I mean, I can say that was right before the internet, though. Before it really popped off. Nowadays, they just let anything fly. Instagram, Facebook, almost YouTube, if you say it right. If you cover up some faces, if you not mention names, like there's ways to get around it. And people do that. And people just, like dude was talking about the division. It shouldn't be no division, man. America built on division. I put in the comments, America don't work without bullying, bro. I would want to have high hopes, but I see it, and I gotta live in reality. Like I'm a black man, I can't afford to not live in reality. I can't afford to hope I go somewhere and think that it's gonna be a nicer situation for me. Nah, I mean I told you before. It's times I gotta keep driving, even if I'm tired, bro. Cause I ain't about to be stuck in a place I know I shouldn't be in the middle of the night. And you look around and you see who's around you.
He says, just my 4 cents. Trump passed a law that you have to be announced by your birth gender at any federal event. Michelle has not attended an event ever since, even funerals. So look, this is his 2 cents. Like, share, support, man. And we appreciate the $5 holler. I don't know that I didn't even know Trump could pass a law, but since you say so, man.
I mean, we finding out Trump can do it. The president can do a whole lot of things. Even if he going against people, even if he ain't asking the right question.
Yeah, this
I mean,
dude up here
you
breaking Supreme Court law decisions. This dude
Mhm.
doing all types of stuff.
Well,
All
yeah,
types of stuff.
he's abusing his power.
Yeah.
ain't nobody doing nothing about it. So at
But
this
Obama
point,
can't
it's
wear a
like
suit.
Well,
It's just the
anything,
different
yeah,
standards we hold
yeah,
people to. It's just,
anything that's going to be done about it, right, would have to come from the legal side, i.e., suits, etc., challenges. Um, he does things that most presidents wouldn't do, and just like this Kennedy, he put his name on the Kennedy Center. Well, there's a process where it takes time. You know, a lawsuit's filed, it's got to be processed, it takes time. So he put it up there because he's the president. He didn't have permission to put it up there. He just put it up there because he's the president.
he took his
Now
name off too.
they went through the process. They said he didn't have the right to do it, and they're taking it down, or they've taken it down. So he does that, but he doesn't have the power that people think he has. I mean, it's a president's powerful, very, very powerful position, but they're still to some degree uh, governed, by the courts, and it's meant to be that way. The people in the courts, that's the Republican Party have decided to all be one way and support anything he does. And yeah, that would be you, that would be anybody. But normally the people in voting, people break because if the president's unpopular, you can lose your seat. So you have to go with the way of your division.
You thought the president can lose his seat?
If he loses the House, if he loses the Senate, yeah, he could lose his seat. If they vote him out,
they
they
tried
gotta
to
have
do
it.
that his first term. Like that
Yeah, they
ain't gonna
did.
happen.
They
That's
impeached him.
not gonna
Like
happen.
that ain't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like and I get what you be saying about it, but America playing a whole different like game in front of our face, and most cats ain't
Right.
even really paying attention.
Like
It's
if you read
about
the
always.
Project 2025 before he got elected, everybody was warning everybody about. You understand what's going on. All that stuff, everything he doing was outlined in what's that? What's some people call it the Heritage Foundation, the agenda.
Mhm.
I mean, them writing it down ain't nothing. I'm talking about them actually acting things out in
They
real
are acting
time
it out. They
on
have
the
been acting it
internet.
out. Look at the voting rights. Like they're actively acting it out, and they've been doing that.
They've been playing a different game, and we trying to play fair. And I get what you always tell me, Platt. We can't take
Well,
y'all on certain rabbit holes.
well, Trump
But
has a lot of power. The average citizen, they got to play fair. Trump can violate the Constitution until it gets processed, and then they stop him.
I mean, there's other people that ain't even on Trump level, man. There's other people that has violated the Constitution, man.
Who is?
We see it in the court. We didn't seen it in the courtroom.
Who?
I mean, almost any case. All they gotta do is just have the right verbiage, and they can win the case, despite what the Constitution or what the law says.
No, they follow the Constitution, brother. You got to understand the country. You got to understand what this is. This is not just some people coming together and say we gonna make this up and we don't care. We can do it this kind of way, and we could do it. And they don't do that. The society has to have a founding. It has to have a footing. You can't just throw things away like that because you don't like them.
I want to believe that, but
I mean, well, that's the
2062,
truth.
bro.
That's the truth. That's just the way. That's the world we live in. Are there going to be mistakes? Yeah, but it's like the stock market. You get spikes, but the system self corrects over time. It goes where it should be, and that's the same thing.
Ain't a lot of self-correcting going on, bro.
Yes, it is. It's called voting.
The voting.
But once again, the politicians represent the will of the voters. if the voters
No, they
vote,
don't though. This is the
no,
thing. The politicians in their campaigns are paid by the same people. That's why I don't look at
who votes
Republican and
for them?
Democrat. They all vote. They
Who
all put
votes
in power
for
by
them?
the same billionaire,
Who
the same
votes for
class of
them?
people.
Who votes for him? Does the
The
politician
people
vote
who
for
think they got
himself?
some power.
Does he vote for
No,
himself?
it's the people vote for him, but the people are
Okay, so
manipulated
that's
by
what
ads.
the
Look at
people.
Thomas Massey. He just lost his seat.
If the people support the politician and the politician's on the take, some lobbyists he's on the take.
The
Well, then
people are
still,
so busy.
they don't have to support that politician. They choose.
This is what I'm saying. The people don't know what they doing. The people are so busy trying to pay for their house, pay for their life, pay for their children, pay for everything that's going on around them. They ain't informed on what's going on. All they see is ads and people spending millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to get people like Thomas Massey out. Thomas Massey, I ain't here Republican. I don't mess with him, but I mean, I do mess with the Epstein file stuff. All the work he did to bring that to the public.
But once again, if they want to protect, if they say, okay, you went against Trump, so we're going to vote for a challenger in the primary, and that's your punishment for going against Trump. Well, once again, that goes to the will of the people. The people said that if the voters want him, if the voters said we're going to protect Trump at all costs, then he'll be protected at all costs. It still comes down to the will of the people. Now, that means the country, this is the country you live in. So you'll have a library that's the size of an ice cream stand. You'll have no jobs. You'll have drugs running through your community because that's what you voted for. You said you didn't want to vote for other things. You wanted to vote for things. You know,
this is the thing, man. Like when these guys get in office, they run on one thing. They lie to the people. The people don't know what's going on. The people are ignorant to what they doing, and they can be manipulated by targeted media. People won't be spending millions of dollars on ads and all this stuff because it don't work. They do that because it do work. And the same people who fund these politicians to get them in office, they work on behalf of them. Look at Elon Musk. How much money he spent to get the president there? Dude, $1 trillion in there. He ain't do that. He ain't do that out the graces of his heart. Like these people work in the interest of the same class, both parties.
They'll throw out a law and have people believe it and have some other laws wrapped in it and you don't even know what you're voting for because you ain't.
They say Nancy Pelosi outperformed Warren Buffett. Her portfolio.
Her stock?
Talking about the stock market. Stock market rigged. Like these people, like.
Well, you're just skeptical, brother. I don't agree with any of that. I think that you vote. I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of time on it. I think that you vote for who you choose to vote. Right now, the country supports Trump. I mean, I don't know about right this moment, and we got to wait to the day of the election. But right now, Republicans protect him. So it looks like he's a king. It looks like he can do what he wants. But
he can get back in office.
They can vote him out. They can vote, but it would take them. It wouldn't be because of him. They would have to set it up where he can run again. It wouldn't be because he said, "Well, I can run again." No, all of that's control. So, and the Republicans do have a conservative court. So, this is what you get. This is what you get. They have a conservative court, and but I'll tell you another thing with the Georgia phone call that Trump keeps saying was a good. It was not. It was a horrible call, and it was illegal. But Fannie Willis was running around with that dude talking about, the guy was supposed to be working and they was sleeping. Allegedly, they were sleeping together, and the judge had to stop the case because it's a conflict
of interest.
Yeah. So when that came out that they were, together like that, so much for the Georgia case. So you know what I'm saying? If you look at the whole thing, a lot of the stuff that Trump benefits from is because of a lot of mistakes made by Democrats. They made a lot of mistakes. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had a bout of cancer. Obama got in office. She wanted to retire under the first female president, Hillary Clinton. And I don't know who Hillary would have nominated, but she wanted to do it under the first female. Obama begged that woman to quit. He begged that woman to quit. Go ahead and retire. That woman did not want to. That woman had a bout of cancer. She came back, went right back to being a Supreme Court justice. Obama begged that woman, step down, let me replace you now. She wanted to do it under Hillary. Once again, the Democrats. Democrats did that to themselves, man. She turned around, Trump won. She made about 2 years, and she passed away, and Trump replaced her. So that, once again, it's the Democrats.
Everybody play games, man. I mean, I'm not for it, but I'm all for it, man. I live in America. I know what it is. The laws ain't. I mean, you want the laws to apply to everybody, but in reality, it don't really work like that. It's who you know, what you know, and if you got some money and some connections, you know, you can tie it all together and get what you want.
And yeah, well, that would be like a lawyer, you know. The better lawyer you have, the better chance you have of dealing with your case. You know, but a lot of people are not guilty, period. See, the problem with a lot of people is that they're criminals. And what they've decided, everybody else is a criminal. And then they say, well, if I can beat my charges. And they look at the world from that position. They don't look at the world as don't do crime. They look at it, if I can beat my charges.
I mean, but when you in a system, that's what I'm saying. When you in a system where there's it's like a two-tier justice system where, depending on your income, you can control the outcome
It's
of
always
things.
been like that, though. It's always been like that. The poor,
here,
the wealthy rarely go to jail. Rarely, because they got money. They can put up a defense. They can do the things. They can outspend a prosecution with their money. They'll go and challenge everything they put up. They put it up. Here come their own experts and the court challenging everything they put up. Average person just doesn't have that type of money, so they wind up. The system caves them in.
Yeah, how effective is that? I mean, I guess it's designed not to be effective.
It's effective.
It's effective for who it's effective for. It's effective for the same people we're talking about.
And it's an economy. Jail makes money for a city. It makes money for jail in itself is an economy. When you look at the phone calls, I don't know, that's a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that contract, Sprint, AT&T, or whoever, you in charge of this jail phone system. What that means, they also get the charge. They get to say, okay, what's the rate? $6.99 a minute. That's capitalism, man. That's capitalism. They get to charge the people. So if somebody call you, you pick up the phone, so and so, you get a phone call from this person, you accept it, that goes on your phone. That's your
when
charge.
we dealing with morals, if you add money to some, like, when we dealing with like morals, it takes the integrity out of it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like capitalism is a cool system, but it's not a perfect system.
Well, just like they say private prison. What I'm saying is that is once you get in that, you have to deal with the fact that people are making money off of you. So it makes money. So every time, if you are Chicago, you get federal money. Whenever you get someone who goes to prison, you get a certain amount of money every day to take care of them, a certain amount of money. You got to feed them, you got to clothe them, certain amount of money. So if you say, what we're going to do, also in the process, you get to hire your citizens, right? So somebody works, the COs work at the prison. You got to have your mechanics come and fix the parts. You got to have the maintenance.
Food service.
All of that. That's why they put the prisoners in there. So, and that in itself is an economy. So these people go what? What they do? They buy houses. What they do, they have kids. The kids got to go to schools. You got to build a school. So that's your economy is based off of what? Prison. If there's nobody in the prison, those people don't exist. Those houses are not bought. Those schools are not built.
Exactly. So they make laws to criminalize people and make people
Yeah.
criminals. That's why when they call people criminals, it's like I don't even like feel any type of way about it. It's like criminal is whatever they say it is.
I mean, you
It
got
ain't right or wrong. It ain't no actual justice in it.
There was a president whose family used to do illegal things, and he made it to presidency.
I just saw this video of this dude. He shot up a family reunion.
Yeah, white dude. I saw that.
Yeah, he came back. They shot the guy, and the dude got off with like he didn't even get arrested for a hate crime or murder, attempted murder. He just shot up the whole block, and they let him off. He bailed out for $5,000 with like
well, he's got to have a trial. He bailed out.
Some crazy stuff. It was like
Well,
indecent
yeah,
exposure.
if he bailed out,
like
if he bailed out,
conduct or something like
well,
that.
now you're getting into racism. I'm saying if you want to talk about racism, there's all types of racism out there that goes unpublished, unknown. You know, so that's terrible. You know, that's terrible when you're doing these reunions. You know, somebody was saying the whites say blacks are so violent and they're so afraid of blacks, but they say you can look at any video on YouTube, you're gonna see a Karen all up in these people's businesses. Say they ain't afraid of black people. They all up in they barbecue. They all
white
up.
people jump out of planes and be hugging bears in the fort. Like, bro, these are not. Nah, you look at the history of these people. Like, they're not. Nah, they're not afraid.
Anyhow, they're not afraid. They're not afraid. If they were afraid, they would be calling the police or somebody else would be handling. They'd be right in the middle. You can go to it's nothing but 15, 16, 25 black people, volleyball, little barbecue, little music, and you can see a Karen right in the middle telling them to cut the music down, telling them, do you live here? Why are you here? They're not afraid. That's just some stuff that they put on the YouTube, the social media pages to try to make it into that. They're not afraid. They just had a picture of a white woman. This woman must have been 60, 63. She was knocking on a black. He put it on his ring cam. She knocked on his door and said, "Can you please cut your light off?" And he's standing on the thing listening to her. "I can't go to sleep that you got your light on. Can you please cut your light on?" He said, "Yeah, you know what? Ma'am? I'll cut my light down." "Well, thank you. Because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. She over there knocking on the door. And then he said, "Well, ma'am, what's your name?" And she told him her name. He said, "Listen, I live here with my wife and my kids. You're my neighbor. I just want to let you know you're welcome to come over here if you feel like it, or if you just don't want to be at home. You're welcome to come and join us for dinner." It's right there on the ring cam. This ain't no stage. And the woman said, "Huh? Well," he said, "Ma'am, anytime. I just want you to know that." And you can see the woman's whole reality. She said, "What? Oh, okay." Probably her husband could die. Motherfuckers get old, man. Your partner dies. So you own a house. That's where you live. You don't want to go into a nursing home. So you live by yourself. But you live by yourself, then sometimes something, you don't realize what you're doing. You over there bothering your neighbor, but really it comes from you just by yourself. And the guy, I don't know how he felt that way about it, but she agreed. Now, a lot of people said, "Fuck all that."
She was lonely. That would have sounded like.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, "Fuck all that, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to cut this light off. And me and you, if you want to, we can go get us some Wendy's. But no, you ain't coming over. You ain't coming over my house, eating and all that. Fuck that."
1 o'clock in the morning, fam. That sounds like an opening scene to a horror movie.
Yeah, but you got a hard to go.
Yeah, we and that's what I'm saying. We talk about the ghetto. You can, bro, you ain't seen poverty. You need to go into West Virginia. You need to go into them hills. You ain't seen poverty, man. Bro, it's bad. You know
Montana,
another thing?
South Dakota.
Yeah, there you go. And you be out there, boy. You be out there driving. Boy, you know what kills me about out this country is we think everything is L.A. Everything is New York. Man, because I be like, man, look at all of these buildings. Look at all of these boarded up, abandoned buildings. I'm not talking about a one or two. You could go down now, whole streets. That's abandoned. For lease,
Yeah.
that's abandoned. Nobody opened that business up. Nobody's living over there. Look at that apartment complex. That's been condemned. I passed by the other day. This guy, he was on, when I was a kid, this dude was on TV. They locked his place. They sent him to jail. I don't know what you call it. They put a lien on his property. I passed by that thing sitting up there with a fence on it. It needs to be cut, but they haven't sold it. I don't know. Maybe they can't sell it. He's still alive in prison, right? I don't know. Maybe there's some procedures where you can't sell his property. But what I'm saying is that thing been sitting there since I was a kid. I was a kid. I was watching TV and I saw this dude get arrested, and I passed by it yesterday. And I said, God damn, I can't believe it. It's just sitting there. Nobody's done anything.
Being a value or being a service or nothing. All that utilities just going to waste.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these people do. They buy up buildings, jack up the prices, and then just let it sit there just to manipulate the market.
I mean,
Just to
it makes
manipulate the
sense.
prices of
I'm sure
things.
that happens. I'm sure that happens sometimes. But yeah, what I'm saying is there's plenty of building space for a person who's trying to start a business. Plenty of opportunity. People do need to seize it. Something like a laundromat. You know, in my community, we ain't got nothing but laundromats, Popeye's chicken, and funeral homes.
Damn.
And that's all we.
Living, bro.
And funeral homes never going out of business.
Hey, never. They gonna
Nah,
always thrive.
it's smart. It's smart. I don't blame the guy. I'm like, yo, go. What if I'm a businessman? You say, where the Popeyes at? They say, okay, I'm putting a funeral home next to that motherfucker because you're gonna send me a steady supply of customers. Eating all that grease, you ain't gonna be around long. Okay, boom, there go a funeral home right there, and so business ain't no whole lot of businesses, but it's bad, but it's not as bad. It could be worse. And now we got this AI. I don't even know how that thing gonna play out because more people gonna lose their jobs.
Yeah, it's a
As
wrap.
they should,
I
bro.
think it's gonna be I think what we're seeing now is this AI is gonna contribute to white people feeling like losing their jobs and then trying to blame somebody. And I think this heightened tension between racial groups in America is gonna increase.
Because more black people are
Because they're
gonna
gonna use it as
figure
an
it
excuse.
out.
It's the LBJ thing. He said, what did he say? He said, if you can convince the poor white man that he's better than the average black man, then you know what I'm saying, he won't notice that you robbing him.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's gonna be that. You kind of see it with this mass immigration stuff. Like during the lead up to all this.
Well, what we need you can do. You know, people say, well, that's a completely different subject. You need a group of lower. I don't even know how to explain. You need immigrants to come in and do servant jobs, etc. Because the people, when your birth rate dies, it can mess with your whole civilization. You got to maintain a certain amount of live births to offset the deaths. And you need people to do service jobs. You say someone from Haiti, they'll come in and do Uber. They'll come in and they'll clean out your garage. They'll come in and they'll do a lot of this labor that other people just don't want to do. And if you don't have anybody to do it, who's going to do it?
This is the thing. I don't think is that people won't do the jobs. I think people just won't do the jobs for what they're trying to pay people to do the jobs.
And that's the whole point. That's why you want an immigrant class, because they'll do it. And yeah, it is about capitalism. So when you look at China, why you think Nike's in China? You think Nike's in China because they want to pay Americans, what they would have to pay them in America? No, they're in China because they want to pay the Chinese, $10 or 12 cents an hour, whatever. I don't even know what they're making, but they want to pay them the $1, $2 an hour, and then no health care, and then sell
then
that stuff.
upsell it to you for 1,000%.
There you go, and make all that profit.
Makes sense to me.
And they were saying, and that's what I'm saying. That's another thing. I think these are just lies. Trump said we moving these companies back to America. Well, they can't come to America because they don't pay they just don't pay their workers how they would have to pay them. They would just
they're based
have
off
to pay them.
exploiting.
Well,
They based
they can't.
off of
Well,
not paying people what they worth.
It'll work if they not paying taxes. It'll work.
I mean, you look at taxes and stuff like that. I don't even know why working class people even pay taxes. They say only 4% of the vast majority of people make up 4% of the tax money. Like most of the money in taxes come from like the 1%, like 96% of that shit.
They'll tell you anything though.
People they pay that. You have to pay a business. Okay, well, if you don't pay taxes, Tabor, how does that benefit a city?
I'm saying if most of the tax money is coming from the people who are exploiting you, right?
Well, they got a lot of money. But no. What I'm saying is if you have a business and you say, bring Nike, come to Detroit and you ain't got to pay no taxes. You can build your building and you ain't got to pay no taxes. How does that benefit Detroit?
They're gonna, because everything else is taxed. The food is taxed.
The workers
the
are
cars
taxed.
You got the housing is got a tax on, not the housing, but like the property tax.
The workers, the people who work there, they get paid. They get taxed.
There's ways to work it. There's a reason why if you own a company and if you got certain things, there's tax deductions and write-offs, bro.
Well, you always got deductions, but you're saying the companies have to be taxed, so because that revenue goes so the city can maintain the city.
Yeah, but
they have to be able to tax. So when you say I'll only come to your city if I get no taxes, then you can't really have them come to your city because they have to be a part of the process. We get it. They do give breaks and deals, but when you say a stadium coming, a football team coming to your city, but the taxpayers got to build the stadium. Okay, you build the stadium. Okay, but we don't want no taxes. Well, you got to tax it. You got to tax it because of the money they make.
That will go ahead.
No, you got to tax the concessions. You have to tax them because that generates revenue for the city. The city has expenses. The school teachers, they have to pay them. The parking lots, the streets, all that stuff has to be maintained. The parks. If you don't have any money, what the mayor gonna do? Take a lawnmower and go cut all the parks?
No, all the businesses should be taxed, and they should be taxed at a high percent.
I'm telling you, for you to have incentives for people that like the way I look at it, for instance, like Jeff Bezos, right? The way I see it, he shouldn't be paying no taxes, personally. And as a business, because he employs so many people who are being taxed on everything else, and that tax adds up. And if you tell him he can't do it, it's fine. But nonetheless,
what is he gonna do?
Most of the tax money
I don't even know
is made by
1%
of the population. That's what I'm saying. The vast majority of people that pay taxes.
Amazon right here in my city did not tax. What is that? Trump did that, I think. Trump put it out there, and now they tax. You could buy some stuff on Amazon, and it wasn't no tax on it. But now they put a tax on it. And then they turn all that over. That money goes, if it's a state tax, it goes to the state. If it's a income or whatever it goes, federal tax, it goes to the federal government. But that money is turned over.
You know what's so crazy about those centers? The crazy thing about Amazon fulfillment centers is the fulfillment centers itself actually don't make any money. All the money from Amazon is made from their web servers. They own like 20% of the web or something crazy like that.
ABS, Amazon Web Services. Yeah, I know about it. Like, I'm an Apple developer, I'm a Google developer, bro. I know about it, and that's what I'm saying. There's ways to offset your taxes anyway. So as long as you, this is why you go get your CPA, somebody that knows these tax laws, and they're gonna beat the system regardless. So while we're talking about they should be taxed, even if you tax them, they're gonna there's gonna be a loophole.
Well, sometimes, but then again, they are going to pay. They're going to pay, and you got to have you got to have revenue. You know, and so that's what I'm saying. It's just actually you should want to do it because you're making your city better.
Yeah,
they don't care about the people for.
You just said about the houses.
If you know all these companies like this, there's these group of guys in Arkansas, what is his name? Huckabee, Sarah Huckabee. There's these guys, they started their own little enclave, all white. This is the problem with that. Once they get that incorporated, once they say this is Jamestown, it's an all white town, right? Which in itself, I don't even know, it might be some legal things about that, but they're gonna have, well, that means they got their own town. Where they gonna get their money from? Who's gonna pay for a fire truck? We gotta buy a fire truck, put out fires. Who's gonna pay for that? We gotta have a firefighter. Who's gonna pay for him? We gotta have a hospital. We gotta have all of the things. We gotta have EMT. We gotta have police. Who's gonna pay for that? Post office. Who's gonna pay for that?
Yeah, and you see, like, everything that you talking about, like, so I've never delivered to a firefighter or whatever, but I have done the police auction type things to where all the stuff in the city, and you probably don't know this, right? So everything in your city that's in those cities' offices, they can't just give it away to like a Goodwill. They gotta put it up for, like, the public gotta have access to it. So I go get a whole bunch of tables, chairs, and computers from like the county house, that counting something. I forgot the name of it. I got the, what do you call it, in my like a photo of it, because I know about it, right? But the way they end up paying those things, I mean, not that. What you just said about the house, right? That you go past, and right, the house is just sitting there. It's dilapidated or whatever. You know, it's just falling apart. And the city should knock it down or get it sold, but they don't do that. They're not putting money in the cities like that, man. I know they not. I see too much of these cities. I go through small towns.
I don't know. It's a reason they have to follow. You know, there's just a method to all of that. You're right. You can't come in and just knock somebody's property down. All of that has to be approved.
There's like crossing state lines, especially like Oklahoma, right, going down into Texas, or almost anywhere. They got them back roads, small towns. You go down Main Street, bro, you'll see whole Main Street, like you said, it'll be shut down.
Yeah.
They have a few different places that's open, but overall, it looks like, why is y'all even still living here?
I don't see nothing but Popeyes.
They don't be putting the money in the cities like that. People know that, man. A smart person knows that, man. So the best thing you can do is figure out how America works, and once you figure it out, you can start moving away. I ain't talking about nothing illegal. I'm talking about being 100% on the up and up. And a person look at your paperwork and be like, okay, I understand why you doing this, that, and the third. It wasn't until I found out. I can go buy a pair of Jordans, believe it or not. I go buy a pair of Jordans and work in them, actually working them for a couple days. And technically, I can write those off on my taxes, bro. A complete write-off, because I get up to like $1,500, bro, worth of clothing every year. That's me personally.
Yeah, it's crazy ways people, it's like crazy things people do to write stuff off. I knew this guy, he was a business owner. He rode in a Lambo and he said, hey, I can apply for food stamps right now. I can apply for all the social stuff. Because he pays himself. He didn't pay himself much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways to get around all that. I think
Yeah,
Elon
I mean,
Musk only paid himself $1.
yeah, you know, they're all gonna, you know, Trump talked about it, they're all gonna, you know, be tax cheats and stuff like that. I mean, but you got to say if the system lets that stuff go on, then you got to accept, okay, that's the way it
That's what I'm
goes, you
saying. The
know.
system let it go on because the politicians are paid and bought for. You
Well,
need to
yeah,
get the
but
money out
most,
of politics so they can just be buying and putting all these millions of dollars in the politician hands. And when they get in there, they got to act on behalf of these guys.
Yeah, that's a nice saying, and you know, I mean, it worked. It's like they'll throw you a couple crumbs, but it's certain people that just got the system. So, man, there was a dude like a couple of days ago. He asked me for my receipt. Mind you, I filled up like 110 gallons, maybe like 108. But he asked me, I was like, "Why do you need my receipt?" He was like, "For tax purposes." I was like, "What? My receipt?" He was like, "Yeah, I got a fleet of trucks. The more I can write off on my taxes for diesel." Go ahead, bro. You can have it. It makes sense to me. I didn't know that people was doing that. And this is how they beating the system. Like Buddy just said, man, they out here getting free health care. They getting food stamps. I ain't gonna say housing, but there's a dude online actively, he from overseas, actively talking about, I ain't gonna say his race, right? Actively talking about living on Section 8 a certain way. And the government paying for it. And he bragging about it.
Yeah, and even all those programs, social programs, what do they really do? It's like, where does the money for that go? That goes from the U.S. Treasury to the hands of business owners. They say that America make the most millionaires by real estate and programs like that.
Yeah, there's too
You
many
know what I
ways.
mean?
And the reason why most people be poor, man, and I learned it, I can say later, is because most people are lazy and they don't care to read the information. And even if the information is hitting them right in the face by a friend, family member, or coworker, they're not listening to it because they don't want to do the work. And that's why AI coming in and all this robot stuff coming in is doing its job. That's the way it's supposed to go. You want to be lazy, we go bring in cheaper labor. I can pay. I remember going to a warehouse, right? And the warehouse, when I went back like 5 years ago, it was full of dudes. It was like 40 dudes working this warehouse. Now they got these robotic, what do you call that? Forklifts.
hmm
And
When I
all
was
they have
growing
to
up, there
do is
used to be four
program them.
people on the back of garbage trucks. Used to be four people on the back that you be on garbage trucks. And
All I
then
see is
now it's
two
like one guy controls the
driving.
arm, picks up the garbage, dumps it in, put the garbage can back, and just pull off. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't see
So
that
like,
too.
yeah, this
Yeah.
technology is gonna take away people's jobs. I don't think most people were poor though because of just a crazy lack of
Not
education. I think the system is built to
Nah, bro,
keep
you
them
can't
poor.
do that, fam. You can't make excuses for people not wanting to learn something new, bro. People don't
Now
like change
people
like
learn new
that.
stuff all the time, and people, you know, they got lives, they got kids, they got stuff they trying to do, and they work hard.
And
But I
all
think
that's
it's
excuses,
just
bro.
purposely not meant for them to be mobile. I don't think employers pay their employees what they're supposed to be getting paid and all that extra profit. Because you got to think about it. We're the most educated generation that's ever lived. We're the most fucking excuse me, most educated generation ever lived. Got the most qualification, most bachelor degrees. Like got technology. We can solve problems no other generation could figure it out immediately with this technology. So there's a bunch of productivity that we're able
And,
to
and you know
do, but
who's
that
on
productivity not going to the workers, it's going to the companies.
and you know who's online complaining the most? The people with degrees, bro. The straight A students who work their vision or their outlook on this earth is, if you give me the information, I can do the work. But then there's also hustlers out here. Overall, we go call them a hustler. That's go get out here and make the moves they need to make, bro. You can't
Yeah, I
say the
mean, you can't
system
teach
messed
hustle.
up.
Some people, yeah, they're just like real mad hustlers, but you can't
Yeah,
hold
but we don't.
everybody to like that standard. You know what I'm saying?
If they're doing anything illegal, we don't
We ain't
recognize
we ain't
that.
talking about it illegal.
Yeah,
I'm just
okay, if they're
saying
doing,
hustling.
well, I'm
Just
just
getting
saying
to
all
it.
that other stuff. We only don't recognize certain things, bro. You know, we
Well,
live in a different world, brother. You know, passing by this today, coming home, passing by this, looked over there, had to turn around. I doubled back. I doubled back. I said, man, this is a family home right here. This is a family home. You got, look at this, shit's been set all in the middle of the street, brother. This was a man and a wife and a couple of kids, and whatever happened, maybe he got on drugs, maybe he got into gambling. Tragedy struck, and this is our society. They just set his shit out in the middle of the street. Now I'm gonna be for real. I sort of saw it. I have a fireplace. I was thinking about
What? Whoa, man.
that little brown thing on the end. I could chop that up. And I know you ain't supposed to use that for firewood, but I'm saying, well, I mean, I don't really run it like that, but I got a saw. I could cut that up and stack it and set it. And come a winter's day. Yeah, it burns too quick. No, it does. But I could add oak to it. That's what I'm saying is I didn't touch it, but I looked at it, and this is the reality, man. It wasn't the only one. About 5 houses down, somebody else. They didn't pay their mortgage, and they don't have money to move anywhere else. So all their shit is just thrown out into the street. You see the bed, and it's been picked through. Yeah. You say, go over there and get it's somebody that's probably been sitting out there for 2 weeks. People have already, people already picked through it, But this was a life for somebody, man, and this is the world we live in now. This was somebody's life.
If I get money, man, I wouldn't be in America, man. It's like you don't own anything here, really. Even when you do own stuff, you got to pay taxes on it. It's like, what are you doing it for?
You don't own nothing nowhere, because if they want to,
you can own stuff other places. There's countries that let you own what you got. You don't pay taxes on that. You pay for it. It's yours forever.
I get the logic of what you said, but what I know is for the most part, you only written till you gone.
Oh yeah, no, you don't keep stuff, but I'm talking about you can pass it down to your kids. They can own it. It's like I'm talking about like it's yours. You don't gotta. Yeah. Nobody gonna take it from you.
You could be a guy right now.
I hear that.
With you can be from New Orleans, starting your life over. You can work at the airport, and I'm not. You could be a janitor. What do? I push a mop at the airport, and I clean out. I vacuum the rugs and mop the floors, and they pay me $10 an hour. And you can buy this home right here, and you can have one child, and you can say, in 30 years, I'm gonna pay on this home, and I don't have much, but I'm gonna leave this to my kid. So yes, you can have something. You ain't written nothing. You pay on it. The kid goes to school. This is what you have. It ain't much. This is your home. You pay on it, and then the kid graduates, and the kid chooses to go on a career. But then you could turn around, son or daughter. You can tell the kid, now that you're getting sick, you can tell the kid, hey, this deed to this house, I bought this to pass down to you. It ain't much, but it's a property. This probably is about 80,000, maybe between 60 and 80. You probably could put it on the market and sell maybe 60. It's better than nothing. So you say your dad didn't have much, but the little bit he had, he left to you. Also, he sacrificed. My dad came from New Orleans. He bought this house, put it together, patched it up, kept it together. And now that I'm gonna put my dad in a nursing home, a state nursing home where he don't have no money. He turned his house over to me. He gave me, this is to you, like you, Tabor. He gave me the house in December, and we put him in a nursing home in February of the next year. So when they go and look and see, does he have assets? Technically, he doesn't have any assets, and I got his house.
Yeah, I would tell you straight up, Platt, for the most part, my kid won't have too many tangible assets from me. Because I know the way this world works.
No, that's up to you, man. But I'm saying you don't have to have
I
much.
mean,
But
back when what 50s, 60s, that was the best time to capitalize on being a homeowner in America for real,
but
for real.
this isn't
Yeah.
about that. What
Before
I'm
money
saying,
really popped off.
I'm talking about a person who has meager beginnings, period. I'm talking about somebody who don't really have skills. Okay, you leave one city and say you did 5 years. Say you did 5 year bid, everybody turned their back on you in your neighborhood, in your family. Everybody turned your back on you. They say, okay, we're gonna let you out, 6 months parole. You get out, you go to another city. You find a city and you say, okay, I'm gonna do that job. They said, we want you to come out here. Where you gonna work? I work at the airport. Here go your badge. We need you to mop. We need you to vacuum, mop, and wax. Wax at night. Vacuum, mop, and wax. And you say, I'm gonna do it. You do good for about a year, and they say, okay, you're a part of what we're doing. You're working for this airport right now. You got retirement and everything, but it's gonna take 30 years. You find a woman, you have a child, and you get you a place to live. This right here, this is what? $300, $400, if that. Unless you're gonna pay for it for 40 years, it's probably $300. Most people don't want to pay; they want to get their house paid off. So it probably, if you say you take it for 600 or 700, and you do it with the plan that your child will be the recipient. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to have no money like that. You can pass down wealth, and you were making that. You making crumbs at the airport. You just went to work. You went to work every day. You did what you were supposed to, and now the kid is grown. You accomplish your mission. But what Negroes want to do is too much extra shit. And that's why they can't pass nothing down. You got to sacrifice, man, to pass something down. You got to sacrifice. It's going to be a lot of times. Guess what? Your idea of fun, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be some smoked sausages on that little $30 grill and whatever you can get on free TV. That's going to be that's going to be you.
They got cats out here with no kids and still have this I can't do better mindset.
We're not talking about people like that, bro. We're not talking about people who give up. They just gave up. Ain't nothing you can do for them.
There's more people like that than people that want to pass stuff down.
Don't matter. The people who give up become irrelevant. You know there's people out here with money. I'm talking about people who, I'm not saying the whole lot. Maybe they got 200,000 in the bank and they make 75 a year. Do you know they'll pass by this and they'll say, let me find out who owns this property. They'll call them people, they'll make them an offer because they know they can fix that up. They say, I can fix this up. I can buy it low, put it together, and that's a property I got. And then, you get into your finance and borrowing against it and stuff like that. It ain't about you trying to actually sell it. It's because it's going to help your portfolio. So I'm saying people would say you wrong to do that. What do you mean? Why are you doing that? Like, that's a family in that house. Where's capitalism? We still live in a capitalistic society. And you got people who do that every day. That trash, bro, you'd be surprised to, bro. Let me tell you something. It is plenty of people who got money. A lot of money. They stalk Goodwill out. Stalk them out. I done went to the Goodwill and seen Mercedes Benzes right there by the door. Another Alexa sitting up there. Them people be going there buying all that stuff and reselling it, where they putting it on eBay or whatever. See, those people they're like, we're not going in here because we're poor. We're going in here because there's some money to be made in here.
Money to be made.
Yeah.
I got some nice things. I told you I got some Apple computers with the double screen and all that. Nice Apple
people would turn that over. They'll turn that stuff over so that they help people. So, and people got a lot of it. So it's about the America is for the living. It's not for the dying. It's for people who are trying to live. It's for people who are trying to come up. So you could, like I said, you look at this is terrible. But it's going to be somebody who's gonna see, they gonna see gold in this. They ain't gonna see what I see. I see a bad situation. They don't see that. They see a possibility. They see this is an opportunity. I can get another rental property added to my portfolio. And I can, based on just my net worth will increase, and then I can turn around and get a loan up against my net worth. I don't even give a damn if the property sells. I'll just use it for my net worth. And also I'll make an offer that I know they're going to take. And so at the end of the day, I'm coming out of this all the way. I see all that shit thrown out. I'm going to see if they own that property. Hey, why don't you just sell it to me? Oh, you owe back on this and that? Don't worry about it. I knock all that down. How much you are you willing to take? Okay. Make your offer. Okay, you want it? Here you go. I'll give you 35,000 for that right now.
The land
right
got
now.
value.
Right
The
now,
house
35.
doesn't.
They sign it over, you give them 35,000 cash. You add, that's what I'm saying. So, and that's all over America. So it's the people who want to be a participant in America. Do you want to participate? If not, and the way the system is, if you don't want to participate, they're going to roll over you anyhow. They're going to do just what they did to this family. They're going to set your ass, they're going to set your shit outside right there on the corner and move on.
They'll pull a rug from under you. This is America. They'll play around. They go. Eminent
up them
domain is a
prices
real
on you,
law.
up the mortgage prices, up those rent prices, up everything on you.
Yeah, eminent domain is a real law, bro. They got people that be fighting for decades over land that was just taken from them. They may get it back, but in between time, they done made so much bread off of it. Like,
Well,
we done
what's the
already
boy?
finished
That's
the
the
land.
city. That's the city taking it. That ain't another individual. And if they're trying to build a stadium or something, you'll hear about something like that. Well, they just say,
You
I
think
don't.
that's right?
They'll say you need to sell his property, and you say I don't want to sell it, and then they'll just buy it, and they'll give you a certain price.
Amount. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about it?
I'm
No,
just
it's the
saying they
country we
can
live
come
in.
and do that.
Well, they do have the city that you live in. They do have rights. If you look, let me tell you something.
Exactly. You don't own anything for real.
I
Like,
said
even
that.
after you get done paying for
Well,
it,
they're
they
gonna
still
pay
gonna
you.
tax
They're
you.
gonna
If
pay
you don't
you.
pay the taxes, they're gonna take it from you. Like,
They're
it
going
ain't
to
really
pay.
yours.
They're going to pay you for. If the city takes your property, they're going to give you a fair offer.
What they think is fair.
What's fair?
You can
What they think is
disagree.
fair.
You can disagree all you want to. They're going to give you a fair offer. Nobody
What,
cares. You can disagree all you want to. I want to stay here. This is my grandma's house. This is sentimental. They're going to give you an offer, and you see this shit. And if you don't move, you see that your shit gonna get set out.
We build.
And if they have to, they'll set your ass right there with your shit. They're gonna take your property, man. This is the way the world works, man. And it's also where you buy that property at. It's where you buy it at. It's just simply where you buy your property at.
But you think that don't happen in other places in the world? You just
I don't know. I'm sure cities take property all over the world. I'm sure they do.
It's still in that county, but like you said, it's the city. Like, I ain't trying to hate on nobody. It's too many digital assets that you can hold. They putting things like houses and ETFs that you can hold for years and pay dividends. So before I would take a tangible asset, I ain't never heard nobody say, hey man, we had to give up our stock. I mean, in some cases, but that's only if they doing like a 1 for 10 or something like that. Like, but they ain't just taking your stock.
Well, if you don't have any money, one way is to buy yourself into wealth is to become a homeowner. If you don't have any money, I'm saying you come out from if you drive to Detroit and you start your life anew and you get a decent job, and after a year, whatever, you become a homeowner, that's one way for you to create wealth. It's going to take time, but that's how you create wealth. It might take you 25 years, but guess what? After
Man,
25 years,
most of the property in America, that
Overpriced.
homeowner stuff is dead for
brother,
the most part.
you can. It's not even hard. You see that house? That house is on the market. If you got whatever you got, it's this house. A house like this, at most, it cost you $550 a month. At most. At most. There are people who have 5, 6 houses like this. Because see, people looking at it the wrong way. You're looking at it as, you know, that shit ain't worth nothing. Well, actually it is. You got to combine it. But see, now you're getting into finance and you're getting into a whole different world. But guess what? If I'm a dude, I dropped out in the 10th grade and I mop the airport, I wax the airport, I vacuum, and I keep my mouth closed and I do what I'm told to do, and I'm working there and I'm living within my means and I have a family. Guess what? When they say, you sick, you know, you sick now, and I can say, I'm gonna put my house up, or you know what I can say? I'm gonna turn my house over to my children. And then I can move into that state nursing home, and they can look back and say, well, dad didn't have much, but he left us $40,000. And if you're smart, you'll have an insurance policy. So you have the house and possibly 100,000 or 200,000 insurance policy. And they said, Dad told us not to pay for this. He said, listen, I had my time. Y'all don't do shit. That house is for y'all. Don't worry about it. And
they still going to have to pay taxes on it.
And you raise, of course, you pay your taxes, and you raise enough. This time, this generation, your kids, they won't go through what you went through. But what I'm saying, this came from a guy who had nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Back in the day that works, but nowadays there's different ways to move.
You could do that today.
As far as what
you could do that today. You said you could do that. You could buy this. I saw this house today. There it is right there. You can do that right now. Right now. It's gonna take you about
all you need is 50 grand in the bank, right?
What, for that? No. Not for that.
I mean,
keep saving up them grands.
You don't need. You probably could get this. It depends on you, though. What I'm saying, there's probably programs in the city. A city first time buyer pro. They'll probably put you on that. You probably don't have to have no money down, none of that.
I think it's a DSCR program. If you take a 2-day class, they give you 25 grand, and there's some other things you can do to put down on the house, live in it for a year. Like they say, the best thing to do is get like a fourplex. You can do a whole lot of things, but most people just ain't go do it. Most people don't care about their kid having anything. They got to get it out the mud, especially in our community. Getting it out the mud is the flex. For whatever the reason, it's just a flex.
I think what Black people could do, because you know there's a lot of agendas being played out, and they have been being played out since we've been in this country. Need to do what we was doing in the 20s and 30s. You know, investing in one another, building up our own communities, and hopefully this time they don't murder us. Yeah,
that right there, what you just said. Hopefully, like who wants to live like that, bro? There's too many ways to get money.
Well, you know, man, you got to take your chances, man. So you go out and you take your chance, and you can believe what you want to believe. But this is the life. You only live one time. You don't get a second opportunity to live. So it's up to you.
You ain't lying, Platt.
What's the blackest city in America? And what is looking like right now?
Detroit, Atlanta.
What is looking like?
Philly.
Atlanta beautiful. But some certain parts, you know, it's like any other place.
That's up to them. Yeah. And that's up to them, Tabor. If they want to live like that, that's their decision.
That's a nice crib right there, Platt. How much they want?
Oh, you like that?
I like it.
It's a lot of room.
It's enough.
It's about a 4-bedroom.
That's cool. Got a little. I see it got the front yard, a little driveway.
I'm a renter. I take that.
I see a backyard too. So I say
they got a big backyard.
So this might. Where's it at? Platt, down south?
Yeah, it's in the south. That's a big backyard back there. And you say it still got that thick grass.
Uh-huh.
You get that little push mower. You had that yard chopped up, man.
I got my other crib. I got a 2-story, and it's kind of like that, but the driveway is a little bit steeper, and it got steps, and I rent that out. But up here, my other crib, that was like almost 200,000. This probably down south. I say this about 120, 130.
Fuck, no, 120.
I say 100.
You don't think so, Platt?
No, that's about 64, 65.
64? Oh, wow.
Easily six, might be less than that.
I live
Man,
in
I
you know
gotta
what?
go down
I
south,
seen that for
man.
64.
I
I
think
jump on it.
if you got 40,
I
I think
gotta
you
go down south.
you can get a house like that for 40,000.
I gotta go down south, Platt.
People just don't have money, man. You guys throwing that up there like you
selling a house like that for 40K.
You could probably get, if you went up to the owner or whatever, the person paying on it, you probably could buy them out of that house for about 40.
But Platt, if I go to my bank,
The land
I can cash
40.
out and get that, right? And I can rent it out. You can rent that crib out for you can rent that crib out for like 2 to 3 years. You're gonna get your money back times 2. Because how much you think the rent gonna be? I ain't gonna charge you.
It's gonna be hard to rent that out.
1,300.
It's location.
Where's it? That's what I'm saying. Where like the
It's
location?
sort of a little bit. It's not in the ghetto, but it's in the hood. So
okay.
When you start talking about
outside, so
when you start talking about renters, they don't really want to rent in the hood. Even the people
Depending
from
on
the
price.
Nah, even the people from the hood, even people from the hood, there are other places. I'm saying you can, but there are safer places and stuff like that.
And I was going to just say Platt Section 8, but I changed my mind because they gonna tear that shit. They gonna have roaches and rats all up in that motherfucker. Yeah. Nothing Section 8. My pop told me like he was done with Section 8 like 5 years ago. Them people tore his shit up, but the city paid for it. But still, you don't want to keep trying to fix your property every 2 months, like especially.
Would you rather that, or would you rather the shitty place, or not having rent every month on time?
I want my rent on time.
I want the rent on time too. Shit.
What
are you talking about? I don't care about that place.
I'd buy that home right there, and that would be the home I turned over to my children.
Me too.
And look, I don't care. It ain't much. I would spend my time wouldn't be fucking off and watching football. I would spend my time manicuring that house. Everything that's broke, I'd fixed.
It looked like it got some good roof.
Get it painted, everything. And then in 20 years, this would be something that you give a child a step up as they, enter adulthood. And we used to be like that. I know we don't want to be like that now, but no, say, hey, what happened? I dropped out. A guy would say, I dropped out in the 9th grade. And they were hiring. Nobody wanted to do it. I went down to the airport, and I'm a janitor at the airport. And where's the airport gonna go? They're gonna pick that up and take it with them. They ain't going nowhere. And that's what you do. You do that and maybe do some type of labor work on the weekends, and you pay for. What are you doing? I'm paying on my home. Why? Because I want to turn over something for my kids. And people don't want to live. See, the problem is people don't want to live like that.
No, they don't.
They don't at all.
All right, that sounds like a hard life of sacrificing boredom.
I got a Mexican contractor right now, Platt. He'll do one thing to that crib. He's doing one thing to my crib right now. And yeah, I'm hitting it right down to my kids. Like that's generational wealth. I heard somebody up here say that, like, hitting your kids down property. We don't hand our kids, especially us as black folks. We don't know how to maintain property. We don't want to keep our property. And that's one thing my pop told me. He was like, listen, in our will, my sister, my brother, everybody going, three of my brothers ain't getting shit because them niggas, they messed it up already. But everybody else, we getting a crib. And that's how, grandkids, everybody. I see how my aunts and everybody now living in my granddad crib because everybody got handed down something. Niggas don't hand down nothing but debt. Barely got health insurance. Life insurance. Can't bury them. gotta have a fish fry. Like we gotta get it together, man. We gotta get it together.
Cremations.
Yeah, cremate.
Yeah,
like,
I think the problem with black
What's wrong
people
with
on the
cremation?
financial side was the history. You know, it was kind of like they were demonized when they did do that. I think they kind of demasculated a lot of the population.
we living until Friday. We don't know how to save money for a rainy day. And I used to be the
Yeah,
same
that
way.
too.
I used to be that. I ain't gonna sit up here and
They say most
criticize.
Americans don't got $400 for a medical emergency.
They don't.
Emergency happened,
That ain't me.
they in debt like that.
That ain't
They
me.
don't.
Average American,
Yeah, American, not just black American.
not just black
American.
American, just the average American. Yeah, $400.
But
And so
niggas
Because
they
it
could be
ain't the
outside.
choice.
Got to get out of our ego, bro. And that's the only thing would keep a person from a property like that is an ego. That's the only thing that would keep a person from a property like I said.
What you mean?
Even
Platt don't want to live there?
yeah, you know, you could have 4 rental properties, and you could just see a deal. You could say, man, I could get in this thing for 45. It's worth about 62. But the person ain't really got. I got the 45. I can get the cash, buy this house. Okay, now I own the house, and you can turn around and not just it's got to adhere to the city to the codes, right? You can't just forget about it, but you just turn around and add it to your net worth, and just because of that, you add this money, additional money to your net worth. So then, because you're a businessman, you take out loans. And then when they say, okay, we need some collateral, you put that on there. But you don't list it at 40, you list it at 60.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, you're approved for the loan.
Well,
Yeah, but
appraiser
people be
gonna
having
come
bad
out
credit.
though. Appraiser gonna come out though, Platt.
Okay.
And then they'll probably look at it, then they're gonna appraise it. But that right there, you're gonna get about 60, 70 out of this crib. This crib don't look bad at all to me. Even though it's a one-story, what is it, one-story crib? It don't look like it.
I think when we talk about investing
yeah,
in
bro.
real estate and stuff like that, that is so foreign to like a lot of people. I know people like got an understanding and a grasp of it, but like with that amount of money and what people would, I don't think it's like realistic for the average person for real
Yeah, it ain't
that's
realistic
trying to
because
just make it.
But
if
There
I
are other
if
ways to
that
uh
outpace it,
make money
so
spending less.
if we all can sacrifice, like this is how I broke it down to one of my homegirls, right, bro? I said, all right, you, your sisters, you and 2 of your sisters, y'all got damn near like 7, 8 kids all together, right? I said, all for the time being, y'all all get your little income tax money and put a little down payment, get a crib, live in there like some Mexicans, stack y'all bread up and get another crib and keep building, doing it that way. Instead of y'all just keep taking
Yeah,
dumbass
people don't be
trips
trying to
and
work together like that for
trying to
real.
get y'all bodies done. Forget all that shit, man. Forget that. Y'all getting
Well, yeah.
paper.
What they pay for it in the long run, though. So
Yeah,
the people
I
who
would have said take 30,000, buy 10 ATMs, put them in hot spots in the city. Cut a
there you
deal with
go.
the
yeah, there's
owners of the
ways to
place.
There
outpace
you go.
buying a
That's a
house
fact.
nowadays.
Straight
No,
up,
there you go.
like,
If you
or
can do
buy
it,
some
laundromat.
cars, rent the cars out. There's a lot of ways to get down.
There's a lot of ways to
Like,
get some money, and then
it
if you
just be
get your
hard for people
credit
to come
right,
together and work together and do that.
Three
I think
three
we need to have
things.
more conversations about that.
If you want to
I think that'd
if you
be
want to get
beneficial. They
over,
say the average what's the average income of the black person? Like 40,000 a year.
40, 50.
You
yeah,
know what
right
I'm saying?
around there. Family for a family, yeah.
But if you get
Single, I don't think
like-minded
it's
people
up there.
together, yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. No, hell no. Absolutely not. Negroes and money,
do what?
that's a combustible mix.
Doing
I
what?
don't believe that.
They just got living their means. That's all.
You can say
Man,
what
you
you want
can't.
to say on that, brother. That has been proven.
Yeah, niggas get
Negroes,
money, they go crazy.
yeah, they
I
they'll
see it.
they'll shut your business. You got you a Popeye. Say, man, y'all can sit down and have Sunday lunch and everybody get together and you think about it for 2 months and they say, okay, you want to do it? And the man will come out, who's in charge of all that and say, okay, well, I need 40,000 from everybody here. and y'all get the money in, and then you say, what we gonna do, man, is we gonna operate this thing for 5 years. Let it make money. Let it create money, wealth for us. Nobody can go out here and don't go get no fancy car. Don't do nothing. Within the first year, and I think they did about a year, and then they came and dude had big old Escalade, and he said, "What you doing, man?" He said, "What?" He said, what's this? Where you get this truck from?" He said, "I went out and bought a truck."
Yikes.
Yeah, he said, "I bought it off the money." He said, off the thing. And the
Tripping.
dude was like, um, this is what we agreed not to do. I know we did, man. We did agree not to do it, but my car started messing up. So you went and got this car? Yeah. Why not, man? I can. You see, I got it.
That
So
must have been back in the day when Escalades was popping, Platt, because niggas
yeah.
definitely want to Escalade, boy.
Well, what I'm saying is it messed up the thing because then once he did it, another dude did it, and it was like 5 of them. And then
Wow.
about 6 months later, because them dudes had wives, and their wives was like, "Well, damn, so he can go and get that UK." And the dude was saying, "Hey, man, we do an overhead. We can't. We got to have resources when we had them bad days where we stay a business. We can't just say, okay, we're gonna have a profit every month." And they didn't listen to him, man. And sure enough,
You
it
got
was
to get into
very
certain
Trying
businesses.
to
They got to
keep
be
up with the
certain
Joneses.
businesses.
But you can't get into business with everybody. And
yeah.
the dude probably knew that. You can't police dudes and their money, man. No, nobody really.
You
It
can't.
depends on the type
You
of
can't.
business and how it's structured, right? Some people you can be an investor, but you don't got no say in the day to day or how things are ran.
And you still can't watch over dudes. What
Can't
they
tell
want to do
people
with
what to
their
do with their
money,
money, bro.
that's how they are. Trust me, I know. I try to do
That's why.
business with dudes, and they
You'd have
messed
to
that.
do a contract, and they're
They,
just investors.
they still
Like
Yeah.
mess it
no,
up,
they
Yeah,
Platt.
would no,
yeah.
they would not be. Who owns the business? Platinum. And then on a contract, it'll say they have this much ownership, but overall, I control
You
everything.
control the
You
you
run the
Yeah,
control
day to
the
day. You the
yeah.
yeah, and
CEO. You run the
I
day
give
to
them
day. This
return.
and that.
I'll give them a return on their investment, but
On your terms.
well, so the business stays afloat. That's what I'm saying. I won't go out and say, okay, the business has
You
tripled.
can't cash out in the first 3 or 4 years, something like
No. But
that.
see,
Yeah, man.
that's where black people make their biggest mistake. When you look at the Asian community, see, they don't do that. What I'm saying is, they'll buy that prop. They'll live in the upstairs. They'll
Yep.
live
Because they
there.
used to that.
Okay, and then after about 4 5 years, then they're way ahead. The
Yep.
property's tripled the price, and it's the cost to run it is damn near zero, and it's a job for the kids. It's a job for your children or your relatives, and this is your property. And now all that other stuff, if they want it, they can have it, but they don't try to get it.
Because black people don't plan long term. And nowadays, it's money is accessible. We're in America. It's easy to get if you know how to get it. If you're
But
willing to listen.
it is, but it's gonna come a time where it's gonna slow down when you get older. Trust me. I've
And,
seen it.
and go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead, Toward my fault.
And that's why credit matters in America. That's why these boys are able to come here and leverage not just they leverage their household incomes to get what they want. I know a dude when the first dude that I worked for, they owned like 100 room hotel. It's on 290 in the Beltway in Houston. They still rent it out. They ain't letting it go. They took loans out on it. Some Indian dudes. They bought trucks. They make other money. They don't even really care. They just bought the property. Like Platt said, it's part of their portfolio. They took equity out on it. They
I
don't even
can't
care about it.
I can't even talk because I was one of them dudes. Like before I had my son, I definitely was stunting and all that. Plaque. You remember I
Mm-hmm.
used to tell you I used to
Mm-hmm.
buy all the latest, fly everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I was never a trick. I wasn't paying for no
Yeah.
coochie, but I was just out living. But I had to learn. Like, no, you ain't gonna make this money forever. And at a certain point in life, you want stability, and you definitely want. have something to hand down to your kids or your family members. Even if you ain't got kids, you want to hand something down to your sister, your brother, your mom, just to have something to hand down. Y'all niggas don't be having that. Niggas don't be having nothing but lint balls in their pockets and be up there putting your family in debt. Like, that ain't cool, bro. Do something else besides buying this goddamn Hellcat. That's all niggas know right now. Hellcats. Like,
Well,
And you,
yeah.
but you trying to talk to cats that don't never had nothing.
Exactly.
So, and you gotta always keep in mind, if you can always keep in mind, Joey, bro, that you was once in his position, and all dudes was ever doing for you personally was just talking. Like, bro, that's discouraging.
I can
I
understand
be trying to
somebody
talk.
blowing a little
I be
money
trying to
on
talk
some
to
stuff they
him.
never had.
I be trying to talk to him instead of talk at him, Tabor. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
But see the way,
like,
yeah, no,
go
no,
ahead,
the
my
way
bad, bro.
America works is they're supposed to wash out. If you say, okay, I'm gonna buy that property, and then 2 houses down, a guy that you've seen at the events, at the symposiums, home ownership, and all that, you've seen him. You don't even know him. You've seen him. So you're familiar with the way he looks. He's familiar with you. You buy this, and then 2 houses down, you see him in his truck, and he's out looking, and you say, "Yeah, I think he's gonna get that." The way America works, if he does dumb shit like wants to flex and he's more concerned about, he takes out bad loans against, he's supposed to lose it. He's supposed to lose. America's for the living, not the dying, and it's for winners. It's not for losers. Somewhere along the way, people think America's for losers. Now, that's when you get into the cheating. That's when you get into the lying, that shit. That's a loser's philosophy. Even though you can manipulate your taxes, right? But you do it from a standpoint of a winner. You don't do it from a standpoint of a loser.
Without losers, America can't win.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't look
The
at it. I
whole
don't look at
system
it as just
doesn't
winning
work
and losing
without
stuff.
losers,
Okay,
bro.
okay. Well, then that's what I'm saying. That's out there too. Do you want to be a loser or a winner?
Yeah,
I mean, I
everybody
know where I
can't.
stand
Everyone
on it.
can't. I
The
don't look
losers
at